And welcome back to the TSF Entertainment Channel. It's your boy Retro CG in the building tonight, joined on the panel tonight, the lovely and the most beautiful of them all, Miss Honey. What's good?
Hey, what's up,
Hey,
y'all?
hey. Uh, my little brother in the building with us, our resident DJ, Mr. DJ Fresh, Your Highness. What's up, bro?
Yo, what's going on, y'all?
Well, guys, we finally made it. We made it here. We're at the end of the season. I'm kind I can't believe I'm getting ready to say this, but I'm kind of sad to see it go.
Oh no, the crowd goes wild when you say we're at the end. We've done more than enough. It's been 3 weeks of this chicanery, so let's move forward. I
Oh
just
man,
wish we could roll right into force.
that's what I wish that we could, so
Yeah.
we can get
I would
past
take two
all of
more,
these
two more
last three
episodes.
weeks have been so much. You're right. It
I'll
would have
take
been
two
so
more.
good if we could have just rolled on into force. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and hit you guys with that intro real quick, and we'll be back to talk about this episode because we got a lot to talk about, guys. And we are back. Looks like the comments are flowing in already. Shout out to the chat. What's good, everyone? Thank y'all for tuning in. As y'all come on in to take your seats and get ready for this uh, awesome, awesomely done season finale. And make sure y'all hit that like button on y'all way in. All right. So, what did y'all think about the episode? I'll start with you, Miss Honey.
Um, yeah, it was exciting. It was chock full of information or lack thereof, and it was exciting. They've given us excitement over this entire season. So who cares about logic?
Well, we do have some illogical moments that I'm sure we'll get to during our breakdown. DJ Fresh, Your Highness, what are your thoughts?
Liked it at the beginning, hated it at the end. Started off with a bang, and then once it got to the end, I just got disappointed. Like,
I think the biggest thing for us is that the acceleration, someone really put their foot all the way down on the gas towards the end of the episode. So yeah, I can agree with that. I think the pacing was a little fast paced. Demarcus, thank you so much for the super chat. We got a comment. Hold on a minute, Fresh. Let's see. Tariq got all of his karma from his problems he calls in the OG Power in the season finale of Ghost. Hallelujah! Thank you, Jesus. Someone else thinks like me. Let me go ahead and put this out here in the air real quick before I get into this thing. The views and opinions expressed on this panel, on this channel, on our show are just that: our views, our opinions. Listen, we enjoy the show. We wouldn't review it if we didn't, but we also enjoy talking about the nuances or lack of nuances and some of the things that we see in the writing. That's just us being long-term fans. It's not to take away from the credit of the show. It's not to say that the show is not done well. We enjoy the show. We enjoy the Power Universe. That's why we're here every Sunday giving you our thoughts and our opinions on the show. So if you don't like our type of commentary, if you don't like the way that we review and recap, you can go to someone else's channel and bother them in their comments about their thoughts, their views, and opinions on their channel. Or you can just start your own YouTube and you can talk about whatever it is you want to talk about. Now, with that being said, let's jump on into this thing. Sometimes some of the comments just irritate me. I usually don't like to respond to them, but sometimes it irritates me because people think that we're nitpicky. And sometimes I know that we can get on a subject and we can kind of spend a lot of time on it talking. But again, it's our views, it's our opinion, it's our show. So this is what we choose to talk about. This is what we're going to talk about. All right, so let's go ahead and the episode starts off with Effie. You got Effie, you got Kane, you got Lauren, Tariq, Brayden, uh, Diana, Drew, all just Monet, all looking at reflections of themselves and kind of like asking themselves, maybe, how did they get to this point? Maybe contemplating some of the decisions and actions that they were getting ready to make in this episode. Um, I could have really did without this scene. It really didn't give us anything. Drew, while you in your phone, make sure you delete all Everett's pictures out too. While you in there deleting all you and Gordo's pictures, why don't you go ahead and get rid of Everett's pictures too? Oh my goodness, Drew.
All those pictures of them together, he looks like he's stalking Gorgonzola. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I don't know. Drew is just getting super weird. First of all, anyway, he's emotional.
I am so tired of Drew. Drew is at the very top of my list of being one of those characters that has to go. I wish they could take him before season 4. I do not want to see Drew back.
Yo, let's not get rid of Drew. Let's keep Drew and write some decent lines for this guy to work on. Let's make the character more consistent. He's headed down a psychopath, a psychotic path. Let's make him a serial killer.
I was all for that until the events of this episode. I was all for, Drew. I wasn't necessarily team Drew, but at the same time, I kind of, felt like there was hope for the character. I felt like there was hope for his art.
The character itself is an emotional liability.
And not surrounded around his sexuality and his relationships or whatever. I was just so hoping that we could get something a little bit more out of Drew than what we've been given these last 3 seasons. But after this week's events, this episode's events, Drew can go. Like, I want someone to push him out of the street like he did old boy. Drew can get it. Like, I'm done with him. I'm done with Drew. Right, support gaming. Get rid of Drew. I'm sorry, Miss Honey. Get rid of Drew. Yes, he has to go.
I mean, I'm good either way. I just hate to see the character
misused.
Yeah, and it's a missed opportunity. Plus, I don't really like how it plays against the lifestyle. Do you know what I mean? Like, it really kind of gives the lifestyle a bad name a little bit. Like, he's such an emotional liability.
I agree, DeMarcus. Drew does not need a love interest for season 4. We do not. We don't care. No. We know now. We all well know about Drew.
Yeah, and I think Lobos is a good example of that, right? Like, Lobos was clearly at least bi-curious, right? But he was also a psychopath. He also was smart and funny, and the energy he carried in the scenes, it just made the character super likable, even though he was our villain.
The same thing with Simon Stern. Simon Stern was in the life, and they didn't feed it to us every scene that he was in, every episode that he was in. Even the whole story arc with him and the little dude that he was married to, the Bash dude that Tariq unalived. Like, they didn't really spend much time with that, but I guess because Drew's a central character, so we have to spend time with him. But we got it. We got it last season with Everett. Like, this season right here, we could have did without the whole Gordo storyline, at least with him and Drew concerned. But we won't spend more time on that. We ain't gonna spend no more time on that because that's just a waste of time. So Tariq is at the hospital, and he just got smacked up on side the head real quick, as Miss Honey loves to say, mollywop by his mama.
And they ran a line, honey. They did an IV, a drip.
A drip on.
You know what I'm saying? They ran a bloodline. Like, really?
Yeah. Lobos did have one purpose in Drew. Lobos was he was a good character actually. So Tariq's sitting here, speaking with Brayden, trying to figure out, what's going on with his mom. He woke up at the hospital, so he's not really sure what happened to his mama. He's concerned about the fact that, his mom is now missing because Tamika told him last episode that his mom was missing and the marshals don't know where she's at. So he's got to get out of the hospital so he can commence to searching the city, scouring it, looking for Tommy and his mom. And in the midst of this, he decides that he wants to ask Brayden, "Are you strapped?" And he'll bring like, "Of course I'm strapped. What do you mean?" Like, no, you're not. Like you said that as he said that as if he's always strapped, like he's always walking around with a piece, like he's always walking
Exactly.
around with a, like,
That's the same thing I
Ray,
thought.
this is the first time you've held a gun in your life, probably. What'd you say first?
I said that's the same thing I said when he asked him, "Are you strapped?" I was like, "When has Brad ever been strapped like this during this entire season? Like,
Right.
I
But
don't
Brayden was
ever
like,
remember
yeah,
him
how,
walking
of
around
course.
with a strap on him. Like, I guess maybe after the unaliving of his uncle, maybe he started to. But I'm like, bro, you ain't never walk around with no strap on. Talking about, yeah, I got it. Like, I was like, okay, I guess the unaliving got his
Got him
ego
all gassed up,
inflated.
right?
Yeah, got him gassed up.
All gassed up, right? So he asked, Tariq asked him for a piece or whatever. He was like, "Let me see that." And I'm like, "Okay, so y'all just going to exchange it right here in the ICU station, right in front of the nurses station. Great job. Good job, fellas. Y'all just going to pass the gun right here in the hospital. No cameras, no witnesses, no concerns.
Plus, Brayden was in the hospital earlier that day, and he's just fine.
It's fine. Just fine. You know,
No broken ribs. What did they admit you for?
I have to respect the fact that we oftentimes like to critique Mary J. Blige's acting, but she's perfectly casted for this role because I think the way that the character is written, she's perfect for it. Because Monet is just ice cold. Like even in this scene right here where she's approaching Noma and Obi, you know, you would think that this is her first time meeting them. They are this huge criminal syndicate. You would think that she would be just a little bit nervous, just a little bit apprehensive about her approach to them. She walking in here like she got this thing lit. Like I wish a motherfucker would. So, and it was very interesting the conversation between Monet and Noma. I said this in our What to Expect video that I felt like the two were going to work together before the end of this season. I didn't think that would take till the end of the season, but even her conversation with Monet, and it seemed like Noma actually had a little bit of empathy towards Monet's situation about Zeke. And Monet is just in there heartless, like, yeah, well, she didn't necessarily admit to getting rid of Mecca, but at the same time, she kind of alluded to getting rid of Mecca. And I'm like, here we go with this $5 million ring again. Here we go with this unalive fiance again. Like, okay, I'm past this point. Like, Noma has no reason to trust working with Monet. Like the mere idea that Noma actually considered this and agreed to this is laughable to me. It's easy writing because Noma should have had way more questions for the husband killer. And she just sat here and admitted to you that she got rid of her entire organization. Like she got rid of Castillo's, she got rid of Lorenzo, she got rid of Kai, she got rid of the Russians, and Noma didn't ask why at one point for any of these people. You want to lie to your own husband. So like, why? I just thought that Noma meeting Monet was I think we should have had more dialogue between the two characters. I think Noma should have had way more questions for Monet than what she ended up asking before she just gave over her entire criminal organization. What's y'all thoughts?
I agree. I agree 100%.
Yeah, in this. Go ahead, Fresh.
No, go ahead, Miss Honey.
Oh yeah, I just first of all, Mary J needs to go. I do agree that she was adequately casted. Okay, right? Like it's good. But she can still go to acting summer school. She needs to go to acting summer school. Like every summer, instead of going to the beach with her family, she needs to go to acting summer school. She needs to. Her face needs to change. She just if her eyeballs didn't move in her head, there would be no movement on her face. Like she's stone cold, man. Just her resting face is stone cold. But
Okay, so
yeah,
y'all see what I'm saying too. There, I just felt like there should have been more. There should have been Noma should have been on more high alert with Monet, and after she had just taken Tariq off of his probation period. And, she see that Tariq is getting the job done or whatever. For her to just roll over on Tariq the way she did in this episode, it just didn't make sense. Like, Norma, you got eyes everywhere. You followed this man out of the country. You've had Obi following him to the subway to see if he's going too far off the grid or whatever the case may be. You've done no type of recon whatsoever on Monet, and she just walks into here and say, "Hey, give me your criminal organization. I got this. I can do this better than these kids." Like, I just thought that was a little bit unbelievable for a
yeah,
person.
Yeah.
that's what I was gonna say. The Noma character was diminished in this scene. I wouldn't
Yeah,
be surprised if she's in maybe two, maybe three episodes of season 4, and they probably already filmed it.
I think we're going to get more screen time with her. I think that they're trying to figure out what direction to take her character, how they're going to flush her out. It's interesting that Monet dropped some knowledge on her that she wasn't prepared for to hear from Monet in regards to Effie being roped up on charges or whatever. And she looked at Obi. I knew it when she looked at him like this. I said, "Oh yeah, buddy, you finna catch it." And she sliced him up. And the fact that she just cut this man in the face and he had no type of reaction to it whatsoever. Ouch. Maybe ouch.
Or the fact that she cut him on the left and he moved to the left, right?
Ouch.
Like I just
Maybe
thought that was
that
weird.
hurt.
I
I guess it
figured
didn't
he.
hurt.
I figured
Obi
he
a
was
true
double
soldier
weak.
though, because I could have took a shot like that to the face
Yeah.
and just stood there.
Yeah, it was very emasculating. I just don't think we're gonna see a lot more of Noma. Like I said, I'll give her 4. I'll give her 4 episodes. They don't really seem like they're interested in blossoming any of their characters. Or to me, they would have blossomed Monet by now, since they're making her this main character. You know what I mean? Um, yeah, I don't. This scene was very telling. It's very telling. It was almost like Noma was handing the crown over to Monet, the Monet character. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like we're not gonna see her no more. Like, yeah, you can run this, you can handle this from now on. And given the ending too, it's kind of like they're bowing out of the Noma character.
And I'm cool with that. I'm cool with that because I really don't think that we need to see much of the drug kingpins. It just all depends on what direction they take her character. I do feel like we are going to get more development out of Obi, and it will be interesting to see that now that Tariq has gotten the green cards for his relatives, will they start working with Tariq and helping Tariq out because Tariq ain't got nobody right now. But
I got well,
I think that whereas the character Obi originally started out not liking Tariq, I think that he's going to end up working with Tariq.
yep. Same thing I think.
Call me crazy, but I think that he's going to start working with Tariq. Tariq show up at Kate house and looking for Tommy, and Kate's like, Kate's doing her usual, like, then you get the memo he's unalive, and Tariq's like, cut the crap, let me in. I want to see if Tommy's here or whatever the case may be. And of course, they have a very interesting conversation. Kate's basically like, listen, I'm like technically your grandmother almost. Like, I got pictures of you in diapers. Like, put the gun away. Come on in. Ain't nobody gonna hurt you. Let's talk about, what's on your mind or whatever the case may be. And so Tariq, wants to know why did Kate decide to give Tommy the information about Tasha's whereabouts, and Kate's like, well, listen, I ain't know nothing about that. Listen, I try not to stay in the middle of it. That how Tommy is. Tommy's a made man. Like, listen, you don't want to deal with him on this level. Like, you need to calm down. She offered him some Hennessy. He turned juice boxes there. I thought I would die. And I kind of realized in this moment why Tariq doesn't drink. I think that because Ghost was such an alcoholic and, it kind of destroyed him, so to speak. I think that's why Tariq's, or the character, shies away from alcohol. That's never really been explained in the story, but we notice that Tariq doesn't drink. So I think that has a lot to do with it.
I wouldn't say Ghost was an alcoholic. I
Yeah,
couldn't.
he had his alcoholic moments.
I mean, yeah, he had his moments where like he excuse me, he drunk too much. But as far as like alcoholic, I couldn't say that. I think maybe
Actually, he
I
was a
think it's more
recovering
so like he
alcoholic.
doesn't
He
drink
was a
because he
recovering
wants to keep
alcoholic
his.
because we all saw that Tasha and Tommy, everybody was concerned when he had started drinking. When Ghost started drinking, everyone got concerned about it. So there was a underlying story there that they didn't really
That's
flesh out
right.
too
You're
much.
right. You're right. You're right. I forgot about that.
They
Oh
talked
yeah.
about it, but they didn't really go into the details as to why they were so concerned about his drinking.
Yep. Support game is right. Remember, he used to sip lean. 50 got Kanan got him on the lean.
Yeah, he was. Yep, he was
He was
on
on the
lean.
lean. So I think that's maybe why he doesn't drink because he wants to keep a clear head, a clear mind.
Okay,
He
so
was recovering. That's why
the
they said he was
stamp, note the stamp, the metering, the return address, the handwritten address. This is bullpucky. This is bullpucky. Look at this. This is what Sachs did. No, I mean I know that this isn't from Sachs, but this is
Grandma Kate and Estelle spinoff. That would be funny. The mothers of power, the grandmothers of power. Yeah, that'd be
Both of
funny.
them get drunk and
it was so I really liked the scene because it made me kind of nostalgic. Her
Yeah,
going to the door, them talking through the door, him going on upstairs, her coming up the stairs and having conversations with him, while he's on the landing. Like it was a scene. It was a moving scene, and I liked it.
she also takes the opportunity to tell him in this scene that a lady with a red wig or a lady with red hair showed up, gave me this letter, and said it was for Tommy, whatever. And he was like, she was like Monique, he was like Monet. So that just played right into his suspicion of thinking that Monet is responsible for Tommy coming after his mom. Are we going to address the elephant in the room? What's up with all the boxes, Kate? Where you going? Chicago. Kate is headed to Chicago. She is moving out, which she's probably going to end up over there in Miriam's house over there in Forest. Kate has got her house packed up, ready for the movers to come and get it. She's headed to Chicago. Which it would make sense that they would move her character to Chicago because there's really nothing left for her in New York. There's no reason for her to stay.
I mean, the fact that Tommy's back and he's been to his mom's house. She's got moving boxes. I mean,
Everywhere.
in Forrest, he was terrified. He was so devastated when he found out his brother had called and talked to Kate. But yeah, she's going to Chicago. I'm sure of it, and she should. She belongs there.
Yeah, that's where she belongs. Yeah, she definitely belongs there in this show.
Yeah, she's going to be his forever nemesis.
Yep. So the Rico crew is sitting here, and they're having a conversation about um, the whole Lauren and prepping her for the grand jury and everything. And they're just basically saying that Effie is not talking. They thought that transferring her to the MCC would force her into cooperating, but they're not having so much luck with Effie. So they're coming in here not necessarily put the pressure on Lauren, but to try to emphasize the importance of Lauren cooperating or continuing to cooperate, and for her not to get cold feet right before she goes before the grand jury.
And Jenny's a liar.
Jenny is a liar. Jenny is the biggest liar whatsoever. She looks over to the board and she wants to know what happened to Cooper Sachs. And she asks, did Tariq have anything to do with Sachs being unalive? And Jenny's response immediately was yes. She's desperate. She's dangerous.
Yeah, she's dangerous.
It's too dangerous.
Yeah. Agreed. She's dangerous.
Yeah, she desperate. I feel like she just did that just because she's so hell bent on trying to get Tariq at this point now. And now she's feeling guilty because Sax asked her like put me in protective custody, and she didn't, and this is what happened. So now she's just hell bent on it was Tariq. So yeah, she's desperate at this point.
I really wish really B had gotten on here by now because me and her had a conversation yesterday offline about this. But the fact that Tate is part of the investigation, he's a known associate. Tate every move should be watched. Like the fact that he's able to still aid Tariq in getting him resources that he need, and he's a part of a whole Rico investigation, is all laughable. Like a lot of this stuff that's happening with all of these suspects, like should be brought to the forefront. Kane should not be able to walk into a police department and impersonate a lawyer. He's a part of a Rico investigation. Like it's the writing. It's the writing, you know.
Yeah, I still don't understand that. I still don't understand that. And won't ever understand it. It's like, bro, really? Like, really? Like, nobody recognized you? No facial nothing?
And the fact that Jenny hasn't recognized that Lauren is slipping, like you're just you got tunnel vision so much that you don't even see that this girl has slipped and fallen right in front of you, and you don't see that your case is falling apart right in front of you. Like she's sneaking out of protective custody. She's mentioning things in regards to Tariq that kind of make you suspicious as to whether or not she's been communicating with him, and you just ignore it and think that she's going to go before the grand jury and say all the things that you think that she's going to say. Wrong, Jenny.
It should be on record by now. It should be on record by now. She should have had this girl run through this story on tape by now. If you've gotten her to this point, her story should be recorded somewhere. But it's fine. We're not going to pick at that. If she really wanted to be way ahead of the game, she forget the Lauren situation and pull the daggone video in and around Uncle Douchebag. Because Braden looked over the side, shout out to whoever said that in my comment, and Tariq was on the ground showing all four, I was going to say four sides of his face, but I mean, all she had to do was pull that video. Them being there at that moment, see, they didn't even mention looking into it. That's the thing. We talk about so many unnecessary things, but the stuff that you could mitigate, people's questions, you don't do it. It's ridiculous. It's the writing.
It plays with our intelligence. Monet decides she's going to round up the crew and let everybody know that she's in charge of the girls now.
And the dark scene. These dark scenes I don't know. What do you guys think it is that all of the scenes are so dark? So poorly lit. Like, is it supposed to give this idea of there being crime going on, or I don't know?
Correct. It's supposed to paint the narrative that this is a sinister and dark moment, and crime and illegality and violence could all occur in any moment. In this case, it's supposed to prepare the viewers that Monet
it's like Gotham everywhere you go.
Yes, that Monet is the villain of all villains, and
with these big old gold hoops on. I'm like, someone pull one of those hoops. She'll buckle so fast. It'll humble you down, baby, getting that earring snatched.
Right, support gaming. That's all that's missing is the villain music. Cue the villain music, Monet.
Right. Dun, 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 dun.
Right. Drew decides to have a hissy fit in front of everybody, like, oh, hell no, I ain't ready.
Emotional liability.
And Kay's like, hey, if you don't shut up, like, this ain't no game.
Like, this not ain't here, not now.
Xavier said he liked Monet's outfit and wig this episode.
I mean, she is a beautiful woman, no doubt.
Mm-hmm. Yo, she's still in limbo. Like she is having a hard time accepting the fact that Tariq is responsible for anything negative towards her. So instead of her actually having a one-on-one conversation with one of her children that she's at odds with right now, who she decide, let me take my real son, my favorite son outside. and she put a strap out on him and whatever, and she says, so why you going around telling my kids that I unalive Lorenzo? He was like, what? No, I don't know nothing about that. And she's like, well, you knew that GTG didn't do it. So he was like, yeah, but I don't know anything about this whole Lorenzo situation. And then he counters her and says, why did you tell Tommy where my mom was? And she was like, what? No, I don't know what you're talking about. Ding dong. The doorbell just rung.
I thought both of them was going to pick up on it.
Opportunity right here to discuss, hey, something ain't right. Maybe somebody's setting us up. Hey, let's talk this out because the math ain't mathing right here.
Yeah.
Because we both got 2 and 2 and we coming up with 5, like she told Kane. Like, they should have
remember, Tariq is the only one she can trust.
At the very first episode of this season, that's exactly what she told him. Like, but y'all should have had a conversation at best talking about these things that you're accusing each other of. Where are you getting this information from that says I gave up you about Lorenzo? Where are you getting this information from that says I gave you up about Tommy? Like, talk.
I mean, Tariq should know better. If Monet needed Tasha's address, she would have sent Tariq for it. Who else she gonna send for it? Tariq is the one that gets her all her information.
Or
where do you think Monet got this information from and she didn't get it from you?
Or she could have gotten it from Davis, like, you know.
Even for her to go back and make Tariq responsible for her money being gone. She gave the money to Kane. Kane gave the money to Braden, but she don't have no animosity towards Braden.
Exactly. It's all Tariq's fault.
Yeah.
And here's the most 100% thing that I knew that she was going to pull out of her back pocket. Look, I got this letter from Sachs. You know anything about this? He's saying you a snitch. He's saying you work with the feds. It's unspoken of.
Same thing with Noma. When Noma first came on the scene with the I started to say the kids, with the gang, she told them about themselves. You know what I'm saying? Like, she commanded that scene. Here, she just listened to all but she didn't say anything like, oh, Monet Tejada, the largest drug dealer on, female kingpin. Like, she didn't give us any background, anything she had discovered on her. It's like she didn't. I don't know. It was weird. It's weird because all they have are schemes and capers. These schemes and capers are based upon them having done a little research behind one another, and they're able to set up these scheme and capers. It's just so convenient that they leave it out here where nobody's looking into nobody. If that makes any sense.
Ain't nobody asking no questions.
Yeah, nobody's asking any follow-up questions. Even our people that typically ask follow-up questions. It's frustrating.
Right. Xavier, you're absolutely right. The irony in all of it is Tariq is still the only one that she can trust. I 100% agree, Xavier.
Probably not after this.
No, even after this. Especially after this, he is the only one that she can trust. They may not realize it yet, but they're going to find their way back to each other. But
she loves Tariq. Now, I would, instead of the Noma Monet, I would have loved to see Tasha and Monet. They could have gave her that.
That's what I said yesterday. I was going to wait till we got to Tasha's thing to break down my whole Tasha theory and what they need, how they need to utilize her going forward. I do not want to spend another season of Tasha in witness protection, the scared cat, running around with the cheap bag wigs on. I really want them. Everybody else on this freaking show is walking around with designer clothes on, looking real nice or whatever. And Tasha look like she's a lumberjack with a bag wig from Party City on. Like, come on, man. Make Tasha.
She goes to the grocery store, though. She goes to the grocery store fresh. Come on. She goes to the grocery store. She's got to wear pumps.
You're not supposed to draw attention to yourself. How she was able to go to the grocery store,
I mean, we saw Monet at the Washateria.
She would be in Fendi or Versace. Celine.
Monet was at the Washateria in pumps. Come on now.
That part still has me.
And Tasha used to always be sharp.
Yeah. Now they have her looking all bummy and just destitute. They got to look destitute. Well, technically she is destitute because they ain't got no money. So they destitute for real. Obi stops Tariq because Tariq, even in this moment, decides he's going to try to go pull a strap on Monet and run behind her. What, he going to shoot her in the back? Like, what were you getting ready to do, Tariq? I'll be
I
like, yo,
feel
calm
so.
down. Like, calm down. Like, listen, you got my face all sliced up trying to stall you out or whatever the case may be. Like, listen, she's at the top of Noma's good graces right now. You're not. We're not. So you need to fall back and let all this stuff die down. And it is what it is. You need to work on taking this opportunity to get back in Noma's good grace. And Tariq like, yeah, I hear you, or whatever the case may be. But we already know that Tariq is going to do what he wants to do. And typically it makes things worse. No, there's a scar right there, Miss Honey. I didn't get a good shot of it, but yeah, that's the side of the face he got sliced
Right,
on.
but she sliced him on that side of the face. When he drew back from it, he drew back in the same direction as the slice. Typically, it doesn't work that way. If someone cuts your face, you go, you know, ugh, right? So
I would
she
have got
cut
my
the
face
face
cut
and
like
you
he
go
did. I would
towards
have hit
it.
the floor. I would have hit the floor. I would have passed out. She would have to finish
Yeah,
me.
it's just one of those little, flaws, one of those little, I forget what people call it. But yeah, I was surprised too. I keep going back to Noma because I was surprised she didn't talk to Tariq either.
Nobody did.
She took him off probation. I mean, he did this huge caper in Italy successfully, got her everything she wanted, something that Mecca had been working on forever and ever. Which we would stop bringing up Mecca because he's makes no sense to keep bringing him up. But
Wow.
and she doesn't pull Tariq to the side. You know, say, "Obi, get me Tariq. Let me talk to him for myself. Let me read." It's just
Let me find out what's going on. Right.
Maybe because she probably never even still trusted him from day one, even though still he passed the test. Because remember, Obi was the one that was in her ear 24/7 saying don't trust him. So it's probably at that point where now although she say, "Oh, you passed the test," she probably still don't trust him.
Well, she damn sure don't need to be trusting Monet. She damn sure don't need to welcome in really be. She
oh, this
damn
is
sure
not a
don't need
good
to be
photo of her at all.
trust. Go ahead, Fresh. She damn sure don't need to be trusting Monet right now. Welcome in really be.
Hey, can
Monet
y'all hear
looks
me?
like a Klingon in this
Yeah,
photo.
you really be.
So my whole thing is Monet's on the phone right now. She's calling Diana again. Instead of you trying to look into the situation yourself, you calling Diana for updates. Like, listen, is Tariq a snitch or not? You just had the opportunity to ask him face to face, was he a snitch, but didn't utilize it. So
Hey, really?
Hey, y'all. What's up, everybody?
what's good? What's good? All right, let's double back to you, really B. What's your thoughts on the episode season finale?
I thought it was a good episode. I thought it was a good season finale. I definitely had some questions, but I think overall, I really think, I agree with Fresh. I was listening to y'all's first thoughts from Friday. I think this was the best season out of the three. Um, so I thought it was pretty good. I mean, like I said, I still got some questions, but I think overall it was a really good season finale.
I think we all got questions. Right, Xavier. Why would Diana help her? Why would she even think that Diana would help her right now? But again, Diana is like it's very interesting because when her and Diana at odds, she ain't right. She ain't right when her and Diana at odds. Until her and Diana get back right, she's got to make sure that she keep Diana close because she know that Diana is a loose cannon, and she gonna be out here working her own angle and her own agenda.
Yep.
Tariq spots Monet getting ready to pull off, so he decides he's going to follow her. And out of nowhere, here comes Tommy.
With New York tags on that same Mustang. Okay.
And it is a Cutlass, Miss Honey. It's a Cutlass. It's an Oldsmobile Cutlass. Now, I don't know. They had several model Cutlass. I don't know if it's a Supreme or not, but it's a Cutlass.
I just can't believe that.
It's a Cutlass.
Because I dated so many guys in cutlasses and deuce and quarters, and I thought to myself, that's not a cutlass. That looks like an LTD.
It looked like it might be an 89. It looked like it might be an 89 model. And that might be the Cutlass limited edition or something like that.
That was my grown girl era.
Tommy tells Tariq to pull up, like we need to talk or whatever the case may be. And of course they go off to the side somewhere and have a conversation, and we get a explanation as to what happened with Tasha. Tariq decides he wants to pull the strap on Tommy anyway. Tommy like, stop popping off, put the gun away, and I'm gonna tell you what happened to your mama or whatever. Yeah, Tommy's Mustang did get shot up, but remember, Ghost left it to him in the wheel.
Okay, because I was going to say the
what
same
car
thing.
did he
Like,
run
I
into
remember
the
that don't get
into
shot
the?
up.
What car did he explode in?
Remember, at the very end of Power, Kate gave Tommy his inheritance from Ghost, and he went to like this abandoned warehouse or somewhere, and
Oh, that's
it was
right.
covered
He
in
sure
sheep.
did. I remember.
He gave it to him. Yeah, he left it for him. He fixed it and gave it back to him.
What car was it that he crashed for his unaliving? Because
Kate's
I thought
car.
that
was Kate's
it was
car.
Kate's car.
The BMW.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Because I thought that was one of the things that they were identifying him.
Yeah. Remember, he pulled his tooth out and crashed Kate's car.
Yeah.
So we get a flashback as to what happened. We saw that both of them had the strap pulled on each other. When the marshal came back in, the wounded marshal that was trying to save Tasha with his last breath, take a shot at Tommy and miss. Tommy turns around and pow him, and Tasha knocks the crap out of Tariq. I was like, great job, Tasha. You're great. She knocks the crap out of him. And then we see that Tasha and Tommy have a conversation. And it's really a walk down memory lane, which I don't understand why they haven't had this conversation before, because in her episode where he went to the apartment to try to unalive her, she showed him the cooperation papers that Keisha had signed. So I don't know why, but for me, it felt like he had just heard that for the first time, that Lakeisha was getting ready to talk, that she had turned state's witness, whatever. But she showed her the papers back in Power. So I just,
But
I think he didn't believe it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
he didn't believe
I
it.
think if I remember, I think he said whatchamacallit made him up. No, because she was unalive by then, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I think he didn't believe it because he
just
didn't want to believe it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think enough time has passed now that he can see things for what they really were. He was in love, he was heartbroken, and so he was seeing what he wanted to see. But I think now, some time has passed, and he probably realizes that Tasha would have done something at it. Good cause.
Shoot, Tommy's never in his right mind. Tommy's always a loose cannon. But they take this opportunity to stroll down memory lane and talk about how they're the last of each other's family, and they day ones, and they all each other God, and they just gonna agree to stop trying to unalive each other. And in this moment, I said to myself, okay, Tasha, it's time for you to come out of witness protection now, because they ain't doing such a good job protecting you anyway, because everybody pull up to your house. Everybody pull up to your house in Witset. Everybody pull up to Tasha's house. It's a cookout over at Tasha's house.
So she is in Witsec and not like just being in a safe house, because she had guards. I didn't know they had guards in Witsec. And then the other thing is, if Tommy is perceived to be dead, what do you mean?
Yeah, remember
that is right. That's right.
Remember
That's
to
right.
recall whatchamacallit. That's when she sent the people. Yeah.
Remember Tariq called Tamika, and Tamika was in the back of the car?
Right, but she said she's got guards, and she would increase it. She'll do it first thing the next day. So it made it seem like she always has these guards. I don't know. Maybe you guys are right. Okay, but my other point is that why is she still in Witsec
if he was presumed dead?
If Tommy's perceived to be dead, because they were protecting her from Tommy, because she was going to testify against Tommy.
Yeah, I've been said that. I have no answer to that.
From what I know,
I'm just trying to understand why is she still in play here in this way. Because the idea that Tommy is dead, so there's no threat out there.
Normally, from what I know in somewhat real life, once you're in Witsec, you're damn near basically in Witsec for life. So, like, that's it. So That's why she was still in Witsec. Like once you joined Witsec, you're basically in it like for life, unless you somehow come out of the shadows and say like,
Yeah, but you
"Hey."
can't WITSEC in your own city. That's you know
I
what
mean,
I'm saying? You can't
Down
WITSEC
the
in your
street.
that
own city.
part
That's why I was
I didn't
told. I'm just
understand.
saying. You can't
That part
WITSEC
I
in
didn't
your own
understand.
city. Especially not in New York where everybody know everybody, even though it's 1 million people, 2, 3, 4 million people.
I
I
didn't understand
understand.
that
I just
part.
it was odd.
So
I was like, was she just like in a safe house or so?
exactly, Xavier. She was in the forest. I didn't understand it. I've never heard of Witsec putting people
I
in the
understood the
same
cabin. I
city.
didn't understand being 2 blocks from Tariq.
Right.
So
Up the street.
I was lost myself. I was
Yeah.
trying to figure that out. I didn't understand it.
I guess they felt like hiding her in plain sight is just effective.
Well,
Tommy tells Tariq goodbye, good luck, because he was
El
like,
Camino.
goodbye, good luck. This is your war, and I'm already unalive in New York. So figure it
Yeah,
out.
but be a true gangster. You know what I'm saying? Immerse yourself completely in the gang life. Don't bother with school. And also, I'm not gonna help you.
Right. But he did leave Tariq with a little bit foreshadowing for next season. So he was like, listen, if you're going to be a gangster, be a gangster. If you're going to be a college student, be a college student. But you can't ride a war out for the back of the classroom. So, and he was like, well, Uncle Tommy, if you love me, you'll help me. And Tommy was like, ha!
Yeah.
That's
you
funny.
No one
oh,
is
The
encouraged
last
better
person on this earth that Tommy would help. Like, you just killed his best friend and your father. I don't think so, sir. Help yourself. He was like, help yourself. Tariq, like, this mother, I can't stand you. Really be chime in for us.
I mean, I don't have nothing to add to that. That's about right.
You ain't getting no help over here, sir. You ain't getting that. So what you looking for? You better go find it with somebody else because I ain't doing that for you. So, and Tommy leaves and he rides off into the sunset back to Chicago with his New York plates. Yep. In a vehicle that's registered to him that everybody in law enforcement knows belongs to Tommy Egan, and he's riding around New York in it. Like it's
like with no problem.
Yep, like there's not a car that nobody will ever recognize as belonging to
That
Tommy
was the
Egan.
only thing I had been saying for years. I was like, how nobody put like you hear his car from blocks away. So just look for a blue Mustang. I never understood that myself. Even going back to Power, I just never understood it. Like it I just
I don't either.
like I guess like we said, writers, because it made absolutely no sense whatsoever. Like how we had no clue.
There's no reason why Tommy should be driving that car in New York at all. Like, okay, come back to New York, fine, but there's no reason why he's supposed to be driving that car.
I was thinking the exact same thing. If you're supposed to be dead, if you're supposed to be unalived, so quote unquote in New York, why are you still in that car? And if they're still looking for you, I'm still shocked that no camera or whatever caught you. But like you said, it's the rider, so neither here nor there. This scene here to me I could have did without, but that's just me. I mean, I understood why he proposed, and I know they got to give him like somewhat quote unquote love interest, but I could have done without the scene. Like this scene served no purpose to me for the entire show. It served absolutely no purpose of him proposing. But that's just me.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Really B.
I was gonna say, especially if they were just gonna turn around and have the whole thing blow up at the end. Like, there was no purpose in any of this storyline. There was no purpose in any of it at all. Unless they were trying to set him up for his spinoff, which they said they're not doing anymore. There's no reason for us to give us this story between him and Harper. I mean, if they were setting up a spinoff, then I say, okay, well, maybe they're trying to set up his, this is going to be the angel to his devil. This is going to be the person that's going to keep him from going too far over the edge. But like this, there's no purpose in none of this.
I'm sick of Tate at this point. I'm sick of his character. Please just let him go.
I
Like,
mean, make him the villain. You know what I'm saying? Make him the one that's tightening up on the drug dealers. Just make the character more interesting. You get what I'm
yeah,
saying? Like this was so unnecessary. I mean, really B makes an excellent point. Why even do this if you're just gonna have her walk off? Apparently she's not gonna be on the show. She's not gonna be a professor next year. Are we not even doing school next year? Like what's
me and Really B talked about that yesterday. Like, there's no purpose for Stansfield next season. There's no purpose. All the students are on the run right now. They all on the
I
lam
would
right.
have loved to see Tariq graduate. I think that would have been cool, but
Yeah,
apparently that's not something they have in their purview.
I hope they
If
don't
they
have
took
it up there
away his,
next year
if
because it's
they're not
gonna
going to
piss
give
me.
him back his trust fund, there's no purpose.
yeah.
I mean, I want
But
him to
that's
get
the
his
whole
trust fund
purpose.
back. I think we need to give him his trust fund back. Yeah.
I got a theory on the whole trust fund thing going forward. Um,
It
so yeah,
involves RSL, doesn't it?
I'm not gonna say anything else about the whole Tate situation because it's a TV show and it's the writing. So here in this scene, we have Diana, Drew, with her brothers, and Kane is the voice of reason once again, and he's letting them know that listen, y'all, I understand that y'all all upset about Ma and what she's doing and what she has done, but y'all also have to live in y'all reality and your truth. Like we are a criminal family, we sell drugs, we unalive people. Like Drew, you're not going to be an NBA housewife. Diana, you're not a sorority girl. So
That was hilarious.
y'all need to wake up.
It was another great Kane moment. Like I just think Kane and Effie both. I think they did really great this season. Woody, I think he did really good this season. This was a
Yes,
good scene. And then we cut out like I gotta go make collections. I just thought that was really good. Poor little Kane. Poor Kane.
Right.
It's like he's been in a cult or something. He's just so indifferent, so lonely. He's so lonely. I think he really, really was counting on Effie to be his Monet, his soft spot, his friend, because he doesn't really have anybody.
it's funny you should say that Kane's lonely because he kind of is. He's kind of like there on an island by himself because he has no
Hmm.
allies. He has no right hand. Lil Guap was his right hand for a little bit until Drew unalived him. And you would think that him and his brother, since he always comes to Drew's rescue, I can't count how many times he's had to rescue Drew, that him and Drew would have a closer relationship, but they don't. And so, yeah, I agree. I think that Kane probably thought that Effie was going to be his soft spot. The Westons are here, mourning, or actually, Robert is mourning Lucas's unaliving, and the rest of the
Hmm.
family was like, "Well, if we do a funeral,
Whatever.
everybody gonna come." So, like, it is what it is.
Yeah.
Brayden comes in, and he has to puff out his chest a little bit at his family or whatever. Yeah. Lord, when Kay and Monet came in there and robbed them, I died laughing. I thought that was so funny. That was so funny. They came in and stuck them up for paintings in a watch. Like, y'all that desperate for money.
I would. I could have done without the scene, honestly. One, but then two at the same time. I'm looking at it and I'm like, yo, y'all trying to stay low key. It's a Rico against y'all, and y'all just made yourself a bigger target going in there, robbing them. Like, like, of course, Brayton's not gonna say nothing, but you already know his brother's a snitch.
Yep.
So you going in there robbing them, and y'all think that at no point in time, like none of them are gonna talk and say, "Oh yeah, they the two that robbed us." Like y'all on the Rico and y'all go do this. Like to me, it was stupid. It was stupid to do.
You sound like really big Xavier. She don't say that so many times. Even when we was talking about the whole invest in the money, they write them like they walk around with all these designer clothes and stuff on, but then they're penny pinching at the same time. So I guess they are broke.
Nah, it ain't broke, bro. It's the
Well, my
principle.
thing is, too, and how much do y'all remember how much the policy was for?
2 million.
Never said it. They never said it. They never said it.
I,
It was
I
2
believe
million. It was 2 million they ended up giving, but they added money to that. They added cash to it.
Okay, so my thing is, and I don't mean no harm, but the Westons are old money. They really could get them people that $2 million, and so they leave them the hell alone. Like I
Yep.
don't know how much Tariq trust fund was, but I'm pretty certain that Mr. Weston got $2 million in his discretionary funds. Like just get them people their money. Like
But remember, their assets are froze.
Yep.
I
Remember,
get
they
that
said
too,
that.
but I don't know. I just feel like Tariq stressing over his trust fund. Okay. I hate to go down this rabbit hole, but I just got to do it for a second. We're talking about one of the biggest um, Wall Street firms, right? That's what they wanted us to believe that they were one of the top ones. So we have people that are investing hundreds of millions of dollars. Now I ain't trying to lowball Ghost, but I am pretty certain that Tariq's trust fund was not hundreds of millions of dollars. It was probably a
Absolutely.
good change, but it wasn't like it's not going to break them to give them their money back. Like just like when he came to Braden, Braden was like, I mean, it's kind of small for what we deal with, but I could do it. I can handle it. So, like the money that wasn't no money to them.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, I know the assets are frozen, but it just seems to me like they were making a big deal about it, like they couldn't handle it, even when they went to them about the Ponzi scheme. Now I understand them stressed about getting RJ his money back, but Tariq and the Tejadas, that should have been like, here, get out my face.
Yeah.
But
I mean, if you don't run down,
security, even for their own security, like, look, take this money so y'all will leave us alone. Yeah.
Right.
But like Retro said, their assets are frozen. So more than likely, people like that, like more than likely, they're not going to just keep cash at hand like the Tejadas. I don't think the Tejadas and them, they're not broke. It's when you in the streets, it's the principle. Like you
Yeah.
stole my money, like, hey, get that bread up, or this is what's gonna happen. So it's the principle for Monet and them. But as far as like Tariq didn't have no millions, but like whatever little bit that was supposed to, I guess it was supposed to gain interest, like it's gone now because it was in part of the Ponzi scheme. So that's why Tasha was so mad, because remember Tasha kept saying like, this is how we supposed to live the rest of our lives off of your, your trust fund, and now it's gone because I mean it might have been like a million, maybe been, a
I'm
little
going
bit
to argue
over.
with that, and we're going to get into a lot of that when we start doing the retro reviews. But I do remember at one point when Tasha was going down into the bank and checking on the assets and whatnot. I do remember at one point they did have millions in the bank. I'm going to assume that the trust value is based off of whatever cash on hand Ghost may have had, life insurance proceeds, the proceeds from the clubs, and the value of the clubs itself. I'm going to say all that is culminated into the dollar amount or whatever Tariq's trust. Let's just put a number on and say it's probably about 5 million. Let's just say it's probably about 5 million, But I do think that there is a way for Tariq to get this money back. RSJ being broke, he was a billionaire, so I doubt that he invested. I doubt that he didn't invest his
He's
entire
not broke.
fortune.
I don't think he's broke.
Yeah.
But I think it was a lot of money.
A lot, yeah.
It's the same thing, principle.
Yeah.
Took my money, give me my
You
damn
took my money.
back.
I want my money back, right?
Yep.
Monet is like, listen, Kane, can I count on you or not? Because like you're the only one that I can count on out here in these streets. And it's funny how she's begging for his support and help now when her back is up against the wall. But any other time, by her own words, he's her dumbest child. And now she's begging for his support. And he's like, she's like, you pee whip over this chick, I'm gonna take care of it because you can't do what needs to be done. Like we got to take care of Tariq's women or whatever the case may be. And Kane was basically trying to defend Effie and saying like, listen, even though she gave me her ass to kiss, she still held it down. She didn't snitch. She didn't flip. She didn't even flip on Tariq. So she's not really a threat to us. But that ain't safe for Monet. Monet is like, listen. She's
Everybody
loose end, and we don't leave loose ends out here, so we gotta get rid of them.
Everybody got to go.
Everybody got to go. And I don't. It's funny how Monet is targeting her concerned over Effie flipping and not trying to get to Lauren. Like she's your biggest threat.
But she probably can't get to Lauren because Lauren is.
Man, everybody get to Lauren.
Or Lauren will go to them.
Right.
Quote unquote.
She has no problem catching an Uber from Whitseg.
I mean, quote unquote, she's in Whitseg.
She does dark parts,
right.
under bridges. All unsafe
federal building in the bathroom. She meets with them in the federal building in the bathroom. But like Support Gaming said, it's a TV show. It's the writers, so they want us to watch this with a simplistic viewpoint. So there it is.
Oh, turn your brain off.
Turn your brain off for a minute. Yo, this chick is funny to me. I don't know why I like her. I like the prison guard. She be funny to me.
It's the ghost scenario. They're recycling these storylines.
Yeah.
But you say that all the time, Retro.
Yeah. She yokes Effie up and, she's taking her probably to gym pop. She's probably trying to scare her into, I don't know what it is that she's trying to do. I don't know who she's working for at this point. I think she's probably working for Monet because it was very obvious when she put her in the cell, she didn't lock the door back. She left the door open. So I said right there, oh, somebody finna come in and bother her. Effie gets the phone. Now, I don't know who was I debating with this. Was it you, really, B? Who the message was from?
It might have been me. Because remember, we talked about it on.
I know me and you talked about it. I talked about it with somebody else too. We were trying to figure out.
Okay, let me just look at it for a second. Something for you.
Monet's coming for you.
Monet's coming for you. Oh, so it's from Kane.
That's
Monet's
what I'm
coming from you. Watch your back.
Yeah, Monet's coming from you. Watch your back. Kane, Kane warning her. So it was Monet that sent the chick in to shank her, and Kane sent her the message letting her know that Monet was coming for her. Okay. Got it.
I thought it was Tariq, but that's just me.
It was me and you that was arguing about it. Yeah, it was Friday night. Friday night after the.
How Tariq know?
I mean, at that point, like, what I would have thought. I don't know. The only reason why I thought it was Tariq because Tariq was the one who helped her get out in the first place.
That was just giving her the knowledge that if she hold on for 5 days,
she'll get out.
Yeah,
she'll be all right. Yeah,
but I mean, I don't know. I mean, Retro at one point thought it was Monet who sent her the text.
I did think it was Monet. But as I was doing the screenshots today and I read the message, I hadn't read the message previously until I actually paid attention to what the message was saying. And then I went back to the scene outside of the Weston's house where he was putting the paint in the back of the truck. And Monet told him, I'll take care of it. So that to me was, okay, I'll set someone up to take care of her inside the jail. And then he decided to go ahead and send her that cell phone to warn her that Monet was sending someone after her. That's how I put that together.
Shout out to the actress who plays Effie. She did a good job in this scene. I never thought it was either Monet or Tariq. I thought it was either Monet or the guard. I couldn't figure out because the guard came off the rip, kind of acting crazy. So I didn't know if the guard was just picking on her and just being petty, like the guard in with Ghost, or if it was Monet. I mean, there was a little time in between, but Effie did a good job. I mean, just the physicality of this scene was really good. Yeah, it was good.
Remember, that was the same guard that gave Tasha hell. So.
Yeah, she bought the Tasha too. I wasn't getting ready to say that. She
gave Tasha hell, so I figured it was just the exact same thing.
This? How about the guard is working? The guard is working for both of them. It's the same. They both got the same contact. The guard is working for Monet and for Kane. She might have been the one to plant the phone and been the one that set Effie up. She don't care which way the money coming.
Yeah, she don't care as long as she get
paid.
paid.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
Yep. That's why it really be because this is the same guard that Monet sent the morning after pill to for Tasha when Tasha had that inmate that was bothering her, and Monet sent her the morning after pill for her. She sent it through the guard. So that guard, she working for whoever.
Oh, that's right. Wow, I forgot all about that.
She belonged to the streets. Yeah.
Yeah.
David Tate. Yeah, she don't care. She's getting that money. She make $35,000 a year. Listen, she can get money. Davis and Tate meet up in a parking garage or whatever, and Davis is like he don't have enough. He's really not had opportunity to grieve his brother, and all this mess going on around him. Like he pretty much told Tariq, like, listen, you need to handle your bitches, like, because they are all the problem. Like he basically told Tariq he got to get rid of Effie and Lauren. And Tariq was like, what? You're not supposed to tell me to do that. You're the lawyer. You're like, listen, they're a problem. Get rid of all of them.
He also said, when your lawyer and your drug dealing uncle tell you not to go after Monet, don't go after Monet. So he knows Tommy's alive too. Everybody knows Tommy's alive. I don't know why they staged it, because I guess they just decided not to go with that storyline. It's weird.
We're not supposed to question that, remember, Miss Honey? Turn your brain off. But you're right. I'm thinking that Tariq may have mentioned to Davis about his interaction with Tommy. Maybe that's why Davis knows. You know.
Or maybe it was Sax before he was unalived. I don't know.
Sax is the gift that he's giving.
Sax knows everything. Sax knows where all the bodies are buried. I don't know why Jenny was able to successfully blackmail him into helping her, or else she was going to do such and such and such. Because he knows where all the bodies are buried. He could get complete immunity.
Right. Tariq told Davis to stay in his lane, mind your business. Going back to the fact that they are all under investigation, Tariq should not have even been allowed to visit her. He should not have been even allowed to visit her.
I didn't even think about that. But again, we saw what's his name? Kane visitor.
Technically, they could have recorded them.
Yeah.
Oh damn!
Right. Asked Tariq, listen, was that message from you? He was like, what? No. If I wanted to get rid of you, why would I be coming to visit you? Like, again, Tariq, this is the second time someone has accused you of something that you haven't done. At what point are you going to start asking questions? Like, where are y'all getting this from? Like, why are y'all all thinking that I'm, he doesn't choose to ask the question. He's just basically telling her that, listen, we're going to get you up out of here. I need that picture. I feel like, I ain't giving you nothing until I get up out of here. Now, if you get me up out of here, I'll get you that picture.
Loved it. I ain't giving you jack.
Like, did you really? What you thought she was going to? Hey, guard, can you get my cell phone real quick and bring it to me? Like, what? How was she even in a position to give you the damn picture? You stupid. Tariq is grasping at straws right now. He's so desperate. He's so desperate. Poor fella.
Oh, he's brilliant. Remember, he comes up with he's a savant.
Yeah, he's a savant. And now he's meeting with Kane and Brayden. And Kane just poorly terrorized poor Brayden. He was like, I don't know if we have the time for that or not. I don't know if we got the time for it or not. Brayden, I'll mess you up. Like, Brayden, sit down before you throw you off of that building.
They could have jumped him.
Yeah, they could have jumped him. Yeah, they could have jumped him. I think Kane would have
Tariq could have got his licks back.
Nah, Kane would have took both of them. He would have licked both of them. Like,
he'd have cleaned them both up.
Yeah, he would clean up the concrete.
I thought he was gonna take Brayden's hand and say, "Stop slapping yourself! Stop slapping yourself! Stop slapping yourself! Why are you slapping yourself?"
Right. So basically, they're sending him on a goon mission to find Lauren's parents and to take pictures.
These two of all people, he sends them to just take pictures.
Yep, just take pictures.
Oh.
Yeah, Brayden is Brayden a real G now.
Why would you believe anything?
Anything.
Like, why are you chasing Kane for anything?
Again,
he literally was about to brain you.
For real, literally. With a desktop monitor.
But you're gonna try to roll your lips in and go after Monet when she walk off. Kane is right here.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Lauren decides that she's finally going to answer the phone for Tariq because he's been blowing her phone up all day, worrying the hell out of her. She's like, "What do you want?" He's like, "Meet me at that secret spot that you always meet me at." And she was like, "If I was Lauren, I'd be like, whatever you got to say, tell me on this phone, because I ain't coming out there." I ain't coming out there. So basically, they're begging Lauren to recant her story, whatever the case may be. And she's like a dumb fool, decides that she's going to show up. And how she decides she's going to. Last time she took a box cutter, I guess the box cutter was unavailable. So she decides to take a steak knife with her. Instead, she decides she's going to take a little steak knife to defend herself.
Really, me got a question.
I got a question. When did Lauren have time to go shopping at the Gucci store? That was a nice Gucci trench coat she had on.
I thought it was Burberry. I thought it was a Burberry trench coat she had on.
I thought it was Gucci.
But I mean, ain't she in her parents' house, or maybe it was there all that time?
I think she's still at Jenny's house.
Nah, I thought once she got to her parents' house, she told Jenny like she wasn't leaving.
Oh, remember Jenny came back up there and told her she had to come back to the safe house.
Yeah, Jenny came and got her.
Yeah, she came and got her. She told her she had to go back to the safe house.
But remember when she left with her parents, they left from their crib.
Yeah, but that was after. That was after court. That was after she had blew up everything in court or whatever. She went home. She went home to her family. She went back to her life. Because in this scene right here, they're at the parents' house. She's not there.
She was at court though.
No.
No. She was out. That's right. She was already out.
Yeah, she was out meeting them. This is when them hoodlums broke into the parents' house and held them at gunpoint. And took the video. That is true, DeMarcus. Tariq did unalive Bash with the steak knife. He sure did.
Exactly, Xavier. The same thing I was thinking. Jenny said she moved the parents.
But remember, they said that the parents were back in town.
The parents came back.
Yeah, remember they said the parents came back to town.
But they were supposed to be in Witston, you know what?
No, that's what remember. That's what David said when he met with Tariq. He said the parents are back in town.
Correct.
The parents were never in Witsett because remember Lauren. Listen. Lauren ain't officially in Witsett.
I agree with that. I don't ever think she was 100% officially in Witsett. It
sounds as though the parents may have been out of town. Like maybe at another house that they own somewhere, maybe out of state. You know, maybe they were like in Virginia or Baltimore or somewhere like that. It sounds like the parents were out of town, not in a safe house or anything like that.
Jenny said that she sent her parents away so to keep them safe. That's what she told her. Now, I don't know. I mean, it's really neither here nor there because Lauren walks off into the sunset with her parents. And it's just so weird because she's supposed to have been unalive. Mm-hmm. It's all just so calm and so pedestrian considering this crazy thing that happened to her.
Yeah. So they meet up with Lauren and they show Lauren the video of her parents being accosted by them hoodlums and force her to recant her story. And she basically looks to Tariq and says, so what Blanca and Jenny are saying about you is correct. You are this monster. Yeah, he is. He's like, you'll never hear from me again. And storms off into the night.
I was like, alas, finally.
Let's enjoy the moment.
Yeah, she wasn't done whining. She still went to Effie to whine.
Yeah, she whined some more. You're right. So you can't celebrate just yet.
I'm telling you.
And then Tariq looks at Kay and has a nerve to ask, yo, that wasn't part of the plan. Like, you was just supposed to take pictures. Like, Kay, like, I don't listen to you. I don't listen to you.
He was like, I don't listen to him. And then he told Lauren, I don't listen to him. So, you don't believe it. I don't take orders from him.
Right.
Yeah, I'm telling you, Woody did a good job this episode. I don't listen to him.
His one-liners are everything, yo. His one-liners are great. They did great writing for him. Yeah. Lauren was the
Lorenzo
only
looks
one that
good though.
held
I ain't
Tariq
gonna lie.
down. She's a rider.
Lorenz, he looks
I don't
good.
think that she did it on her own, though, Xavier. I don't think she did it on her own. She was kind of coerced into doing so.
Nah,
Because all Tariq's begging and pleading and calling her phone 100 times back to back and texting her and meeting up with her. Had he not played that audio from Effie, she would have flipped on him. I think she would have flipped.
yeah, she would have flipped.
She would have flipped.
She definitely would have flipped. Effie held it down for Tariq as well, up until the point where
I felt like that too.
yeah, she just got the bitterness
more than she did Tariq. Yeah.
So
Davis is in the audience looking like this right here. Like, how did y'all let this man right here? His facial expression was everything. Here, like, oh God, we got this problem to deal with now. Takes now Congressman. Great. And I guess, is this the end of Brushonda? Are we going to see Brushonda anymore? She's the only student that's left in the class.
It was crazy because in this scene right here, I thought it was going to come out that something actually happened between.
That he was messing with her?
Yeah. I thought that's what was going to come out because I was just like, I was trying to figure out like why they keep putting her in like little spots. So I was like, okay, now they're about to have Rushion to have like a more reoccurring role to just be in
Old Dog versus Cheese. I like that. Old Dog versus Cheese, right?
Look, speaking of little spots, look at little Lorenz. Big, strong, strapping, tall, Method Man. It was hilarious. Why were they acting like they didn't know each other when Tate told Sax he wanted
money. He wanted money.
He wanted him to talk against his opponent to do a smear campaign. And now it's like, I know you scum, and I know you scum, and we both we see each other, right? Like, it's weird.
Right.
I think they didn't know each other in a face-to-face basis. I think it was just more so like they always had a middleman, like Tariq. Whether it was Tariq or whether it was Sax. Like, I don't think him and Davis like actually formally met. I think it was always somebody, a middleman person. It's like they knew of each other, but they never formally met up until this point.
So, do y'all really want to see Influence?
No, that's just being honest. I don't.
I don't either.
No, I can feel
Because
that.
to me,
I feel like we've seen it.
We're watching it now. We're watching it now.
It could be nothing but a Star's version of Scandal. So no, I'm good.
Yeah, it'll be Power's version of Scandal, right? And across the room, in a crowded room with music and other people talking, the bionic woman turns on her bionic hearing, and she overhears the conversation between Cheese and O-Dog. And she storms off into the night. I can't believe him. He's asking for money. Like, Davis is a high-powered attorney, so he's not like he's giving you a legal fund. So, like, well, what's the problem? What was the problem with him asking for a campaign donation? Like, you want me to do a favor for you? Give me a couple dollars. Whatever. But
because I think she heard the whole conversation. I don't think she just heard the last part.
Yeah.
I think she heard the whole conversation.
Yeah,
okay.
That's what I was thinking. Because how mad she got and walked off and left that ring, I figured she heard everything. Because remember, she kept telling him, if it wasn't this episode, the episode prior, she kept telling him, like, I can't be around you if you're not going to fly straight. And that's when he kept telling her, like, yeah, I'm going to be this person and this guy, whatever. And yeah, I think I'm going to really be
ethical challenges. He was ethically challenged.
Papa, take your ass back to Stansfield and teach a class or something. I'm over her. Just go away.
I wish they would have just left her at that place. We didn't need this.
Yeah, we didn't need this. This was just boring.
Especially if they weren't going to build it up. Like, it could have been a decent storyline. But again, I feel like that's a storyline. If they were still going to do his spinoff, then what they could have done this season would just let us know that there was a history there. And then you could build the romance. And that way you have time to really build up the romance part of it. But they just threw it together. They just threw it together. And then, like you said, at the end was like, oh, never mind. Never mind. It's just stupid. It was unnecessary.
Yeah. She tells a reporter that, oh, I don't want to give an interview. It'll be about a tragic breakup rather than a love story. She just storms off. Whatever. Go
The
pawn the
reporter
ring.
probably still gonna write about
Go
it.
pawn the ring. Get you some money and going back to Stansfield. Okay, Kiki. Kiki, do you love me? We love you, Kiki. Kiki is at Weston Holdings gathering her things. Brayden is there playing with a Rubik's Cube in his uncle's office, and he unalive. And Kiki comes in and says, that letter that, was left behind for Uncle Lucas doesn't really sound like something he would say. And you said you were going to make all this go away. And Brayden was like, what are you asking me? Like, girl, you better be quiet. I think you get ready to strangle you or something. Like, you better be quiet. Okay. I know I drug Kiki. Kiki. However, I think Kiki is the key to them getting their money back. They need to utilize Kiki. Y'all have given us too much time with the character where you kind of built up a bit of an interest with her and Brayton. It's stupid to just have her go away back to Columbus, Ohio, or Columbus, Georgia, or wherever Columbus she's going to. Instead, Brayden needs to approach her next season and say, I know that you knew how my uncle moved. I know that you were his right hand. You know where his offshore accounts are. I need for you to get Tariq's trust back. I need for you to get RSJ money back. But more importantly, I need you to get the Tejadas their money back. Like, Kiki needs to become part of their organization. She needs to be the Tasha for them, where she washing money, she's getting her hands on the money that Lucas was moving because Brayden's brother said it last episode that Uncle Lucas had been moving millions to an offshore account. Yep. Kiki got access to those accounts. Get them their money back. That's how they get their money back. This is how Tariq gets his trust back. This is how the Tejadas get their money back, and this is how RSJ gets their money back. That's how they need to use Kiki.
I don't think Kiki is gone for a minute anyway. I think it just, like I said, it's just the way it's written in the story. I think she'll be back next season. You can't just write out her character that way. But then again, at the same time, she might not know because of the way Lucas basically sold her out. So he might have changed everything, accounts, all that stuff. So
they never did say it, Xavier, but I kind of felt like she was skimming too. I kind of felt like she was skimming some money too. But either way, she's the key. Kiki is the key.
Well, RSJ might figure out a way. I don't know.
Now RSJ ain't figuring out nothing. He called Tariq, asking Tariq for help to get his money back. So they need to go on over to the Kiki and catch her before she get on that bus back to Columbus. They'd be like, yo, Kiki, before you go, I need you to get us this money back. Once again, Jenny is trying to use her last attempt to manipulate Lauren, prepare her for going before the grand jury tomorrow morning or whatever. And, she even questions her in this scene. Have you been speaking with Tariq? Like, Jenny, wake up. Like, wake up. This girl's playing you. Jenny, you're not our Angela Valdez. You're not our Angela Valdez.
She's blinded right now.
I don't know who thought she was.
She is not our Angela Valdez.
That's a weird correlation.
It really is. Another unnecessary scene for me. I could have did without. I really don't know. I was hoping that one of y'all could explain to me what was the purpose of the visit.
I've been trying to wrap my head around it, and I've come with no conclusion as to what this. I don't know if maybe she was saying because at first, when I first watched it, I thought Tariq did this to you know what I'm saying? Like he put it together to have Lauren go and basically kind of throw subliminals that hey, I'm about to throw the case but I know it was you who tried to unalive me. But then I was like, that don't make any sense. I have no conclusions as to what this scene was about and why they spoke to each other. I can't come up with anything at all. So I just gave up. I got tired of racking my brain around it.
Anybody else got any thoughts on what the purpose of the visit was? Because I was
The
lost.
purpose of what visit?
Lauren going to see Effie.
I think I don't know. I mean, I think there was a purpose from a. I think she wanted to just be sure that it wasn't Tariq, and I think Effie confirmed that it wasn't Tariq. She confirmed that it wasn't Tariq. She confirmed that it was her.
That's right.
Okay.
Now it makes sense. Okay.
The only thing I can think of is that she just wanted to confirm that Tariq wasn't the one that did it.
Oh, you know what?
Okay. All right. Dre's universe. Lauren wanted to know if Effie was still going to come after her.
And really be, now that you said that, it makes so much sense because remember, they had just went to her and told her she needed to recant her story. So she probably wanted to get confirmation because if she found out that Tariq did, she probably wasn't going to recant her story. So now it makes sense. Yeah, what really be saying, it makes a whole lot of sense now. Now it makes sense.
Jenny, you should have treated her as a hostile witness because she embarrassed you in front of all these folks. I would have just been like, you know what, we'll be back tomorrow because she's delusional right now. She's under duress right now. She blows up.
I don't know no courtroom where you don't turn the lights on, but go ahead.
I was thinking this too with files behind you.
With the file cabinet behind it. I don't know. It looks like it's a meeting space.
It
like
is a grand jury. It's not a courthouse. Still, the lights should be on.
It's daylight. They have natural light. Jenny's like, I can't believe this is even happening to me. Like, are you serious right now? And Lauren was like, yeah, I said everything you told me to say. So, yeah, I woke up and, I have anxiety issues. My brother had anxiety issues.
It was so silly. When she went down that rabbit hole, I started thinking about my brother having anxiety issues. And the next thing I know, I blacked out. I was like, okay.
Well, we said that the Rico sisters wasn't going to be able to get no case. And Lauren just wiped the case away. I feel so sorry for the Rico sisters. They worked so hard.
They have each other.
The Rico sisters have worked hard, y'all. Them girls been working hard. And Lauren just blew their spot up. Medina said, listen, y'all ain't finna embarrass me no more. I'm finna shut all this down. So y'all do what y'all want to. Lord, y'all do what y'all want to, but I'm finna shut this down because y'all ain't finna run my name in the mud.
Right. I'm finna disassociate myself from you knuckleheads.
Literally, he even removed himself from the scene. He was like, I'm out of here.
No more. No mas.
Right, Xavier. Xavier said the Rico sisters were working hard enough to record Lauren's testimony. Right. That's what McCall said. They should have been had Lauren on tape. With a signed statement, right? It don't matter because she said she was doing it under duress. So even if they did have it under recording and signed, she still could have argued that she did it under duress.
Yeah, they coerced her.
They coerced her. Yep.
Pressured or whatever.
Tariq is outside the jail picking up Effie, but texting Lauren. Boy, I tell you what, Tariq, those priorities. Yep. Good job, Tariq. Lauren, like, listen, the fact that she even still has the burner phone is amazing to me at this point, but she decides to throw it in the trash.
Well, it's her only connection to Tariq.
Yeah, it was literally her only connection to Tariq. She should have got rid of that after the grand jury. But we had to see her read this last message from Tariq, so she's going to ride off into the sunset with her parents with Tariq on her mind still.
Off to the vineyards.
Yep, they're going to the vineyards. Yep, and they gather their things and they ride off into the sunset. Bye, Lauren. We don't ever want to see you ever again. Goodbye. Toodles.
Everything is the same color. The walls, the lamp, her, everything is all the same color.
So Tariq, and it's amazing how nobody asked Tariq why he ride around in his Cutlass. He go from a Porsche GT
Right.
to ride around.
Nobody asked him why is he driving this car. Nobody.
I mean, I guess, man, when you in the streets, you probably look at it as, man, he trying to stay low key. That Porsche gonna attract too much attention.
Yeah.
It's a nice car. It starts right up.
And he had a Porsche GT3. That joint was easily over
You say it
100,000.
starts right up, Miss Honey.
Yeah, it's a good condition. It starts right up. Like, look at all of his official tags in the window. He's a legit citizen.
Yeah,
It's
that
a
part.
working man's car, and look how he looks. Like, this isn't really. It doesn't look designery. He looks like a water boy.
A water boy. Effie says, "Okay, listen. I don't know how you do it, but you did it. So I'm gonna hold up my end of the bargain. Here go this picture, and I'm just trying to figure out to myself, how did Effie find out who the daughter was, and so quickly, just off of a picture?" And she's like, the young lady is their age now. She goes to NYU, and her name is Alana Covington. Like, Effie, how did you find all this out? Between being roped up and you've been arrested twice in the last 2 episodes, you've been
They
yoked
really
up.
look like kids in this scene, like
They
young.
do.
She probably got it beforehand, because when did she take that picture? What was that?
When
Episode
they were
5?
in Italy, when they were in Italy,
So that was like episode 5, episode 6, right? So she probably been sitting on that information for a while. She probably would have
I
told
said the
Tariq.
same thing. What pulls my teeth? She found it. She found out in episode 7. Okay, got it. Because in episode 8, 9, and 10, she been busy, so she must have found it in episode 7. Right, what pulls my teeth? How did she get the number so fast on foot? Right.
Oh, that's easy. She probably hit up Kane.
Yeah, Effie got them Diana skills. Effie got them Diana investigative skills.
Well, I mean, she's the one that helped RSJ in Italy getting the back information. She's going
Okay.
into robotics. She's no dummy. She's no dummy. She's smart and she's resourceful. What her mistake was really falling for this guy and going against her best interest. This was one of her better scenes too, when she said, "I'd rather just find my own way from here." I really enjoyed that. And I enjoyed how that scene was shot as well.
I thought that too, keep it cute. Like, I was ready for her to say, "I'm the daughter." Yeah.
I'd have been pissed. I'd have turned the show off if she would have said that.
No,
Man,
I wouldn't have. That's a missed opportunity right there. There's so much they could have explored with that storyline had she been Norman's daughter.
She did that. I'd have turned that whole episode off.
Nah, that would have been shocking, jaw dropping, shocking. Now, normally when they have other conversations, they are in a private place, but they decide they want to go down to the local coffee shop. Looks like they might be in the building, the lobby of Western Holdings, having coffee and just talking about all their criminal endeavors, loudly arguing about their criminal endeavors in a public place. Brayden decides to tell Tariq that, "Look, I am out. You're going to have to figure out how to make do on your own because I'm too caught up. I'm out. I'm in too deep. I'm up out of here. So you're going to figure this out on your own."
Yeah, I don't like that. I was like, you was the main one who wanted to stay in the life, and now that the pressure on, now you want to fold.
You want to fold and run and hide.
Yeah. Like, nah, you about to keep your ass in there straight, bro.
And
like,
Tariq cut you off. He cut you out, and you begged to get back in it.
Begged to get back in.
Begged to get back in. You was out. Right, you was out. Yep, I forgot about that. Sure did.
Xavier, he wasn't going to kidnap her, but I think he was going to use it to the leverage to say, anything happened to her, I know who your daughter is.
Just like he
remember,
did.
he had been trying to get from under Noma since like the beginning. So he was just going to use that as leverage. He wasn't going to kidnap her. It was just like a threat. That's all.
He just what he said when he approached her. He said, "I know your daughter. I got people watching her." We knew that was a lie, but it was him reaching.
Yeah, it was just a threat. That's all.
It was a threat. Yeah, a threat that he had no resources in carrying out. Why do you keep letting this girl in your door?
I don't understand it.
Why do you keep answering the door for her?
I have no idea.
Send her on her way.
She needs to maybe
Yo,
meet.
she
He
played
just
this
like
dude like
Kane, no
cards. She
rival.
played this dude like cards. Yo, where Xavier at? Xavier, what do you think about your queen Diana now? What do you think about your queen, Xavier? I can't wait to see what you got to say about that. Diana comes up in here and tells Tariq that she wants out of life. She wants to go to Spelman. Tariq like, listen, you got. I already told you one time. Do what you got to do for you. But I got too much going on right now. I can't do nothing for you. And has a very similar conversation with her as he did with Effie. Like, I can't trust you or whatever the case may be. And she starts pulling at his heartstrings and saying, her mom is threatening her, and her mom is responsible for Poppy being unalive, and I'm scared that she's going to unalive me next, and we have to get rid of her. She said, Tommy to your mom's spot, and when she said that, they got his full attention. Diana definitely can go, but Drew can go first. Xavier says she's still the queen. She and bad boy Drew did what needed to be done and turn everyone out like the pimps that they are. Oh, please. Whatever.
I think he meant S instead of P, but carry on.
Yo, why did Tariq fall for this? Like, Tariq, you have no questions. You have no questions whatsoever about, like, if you want to take your mom out, that's on you, your brothers. Like, why are you roping me into this? Like, you know that your brother don't like me. You know that he will have beef with me if he found out I took out your mom. Like, think, Tariq, you're not smart. You smart, but you're not smart. Like, you can't see that she playing you.
I think, like I said, tunnel vision, man. He was so busy worried about his mom.
Nobody should be able to talk
Tommy,
someone else into killing their mom in 15 seconds.
Yeah. Well, no, it took less than that for him to be convinced by his own mama to kill his father. So I guess it goes with the course.
We only have this one shot. Who is we?
Tariq was emotional. I agree with that.
See this part right here. I didn't understand because it was like
I got angry at this point. This is where I started really getting angry because Monet is smarter than this. Monet, you're not suspicious about any of this. Diana coming over here to chauffeur you over to the penthouse. Why not just bring Drew with you?
Diana said, if anyone should be dead, it should be you.
I'm like,
and Monet said, I kill her.
Yeah, I kill her. Yep.
Y'all had a huge blow up, and all of a sudden now, she just coming to the crib.
And then, especially, this is when I wanted Monet to wake the freak up. When she said, so you ain't got nothing to say until we get to the penthouse? Like, your antenna should have been up the whole time, Monet.
Especially since you scheme.
You scheme and scam.
You scheme to cut Castillo's out of their very lives. Every last one of them.
I think it was because she never would have expected it from Diana. She would have probably expected from Kane
she just
first.
Underestimate her.
Yeah,
no,
I don't understand.
Definitely expect. How could she not
be dead
from Diana when Diana was the one who went dug up Zeke's whole secret or whatever? Diana, she sends Diana out here to do the dirty work, to scheme and scam and finesse. So her underestimating Diana, I can't go with that. I'm sorry,
but I think it was
Drew, she could definitely underestimate, but not.
But both of them, Drew and Diana, both were very clear about how they felt about her. And those words, from a mother to a daughter to a mother. If anybody should be dead, it's you. I'm sorry.
And they left angry, and she's been ducking her calls ever since.
And then you show up. Monet should be suspicious, and especially because she's a master manipulator and a schemer.
Yeah, I'm sorry. That was not believable.
I was about to bring up exactly what I said. Like, she underestimated her because she didn't see Diana having that killer instinct to unalive her. Now, she might have did something dirty where to like set her up, but as far as like taking her out, that never crossed her mind. She would see that as Kane first before Diana, because Diana ain't never been about that life of taking somebody out. Remember, when she tried to get her to take out Whitman, she wouldn't do it. What was you about to say, really, B?
And not only that,
I agree, Dre.
Me too.
That's the one. I know what you're saying, that she's the one that sends Diana out. But again, in her mind, I send Diana out. I don't think it occurred to her that Diana would have the gumption to do it herself. In her mind, she's the one that puts the battery in Diana's back. So I do
Mhm.
think she still underestimated that Diana and Drew will be able to come up with this plan all by themselves. Like I do think she might have underestimated that.
Yeah. See, this is when the whole
Go ahead,
episode,
Fresh. Go ahead, because I know this is where you get aggravated too. Go ahead, bro.
whole like I was like, really, like y'all don't see, y'all got cameras all around y'all house, y'all don't see the suspicious car, the man ain't got no tents on the joint, his whole face is out the window, only thing he pulls up is a mask that just covers from his nose, you see his eyes from heads up, and nobody, you gonna tell me that, even let's just say he did and his mom and Tasha didn't show up, you want me to believe that nobody was gonna know it was him? Like,
And she had Whitman on camera. Yep.
had
She
Whitman
told me
on
she had Whitman.
camera,
Yep. And she had Whitman
and
on
this
camera.
man just sitting out here in this little bucket with the windows down, all the way down, with no tents, whole face shown. It,
Hanging out the window.
even I know that's Tariq.
You're not supposed to
He put no
recognize
hat
him.
on. All this money y'all got, y'all, you could have bought a clown
bet-
mask or something to cover your face
Yeah.
if you was gonna do it. Like,
Plus, y'all have killed all your enemies, right? Like every enemy you've ever had is gone. You guys are it's just a regular brownstone townhouse, whatever. I mean, it's nonsensical.
It's very
They're a drug cartel. They're so big that Noma, who's an international drug and arms dealer,
Scabs.
you know,
Scabs.
you could have pulled the face mask over your whole face if that was the case. At
a
least
black
then I
guy
would have
in a
made it more
Toyota.
believable.
I'm sorry, yo, but Monet somewhat redeemed herself for me here. She redeemed herself for me. I felt sorry for Monet.
I didn't feel sorry for her, but it was a
I don't
karma. But she
understand
had
how she
told
got
me.
shot. I don't understand how she got shot in the side, but she redeemed herself for me.
Oh, that bro.
It was some good dialogue. I will say
It
that.
was some good
Because
dialogue. It was
remember
what
how
Diana needed
remember
to
how she
hear.
covered Diana up? That's how she got hit in the side. Remember, she
I don't
hit her.
believe none of that. You said that was. I don't believe nothing. Monet was saying what Monet had to say to get Diana back on her team. I don't believe none of that shit.
Agreed. It's agreed. I agree, but it was still good dialogue.
Yeah, yeah, but it was what
I'm
Diana
definitely
needed to
lying.
hear. It was what Diana, and again, Monet, you still not suspicious when she's like, "Mom, I forgot something in the house. Let's go back in." Like, well, it's too late now. It's too late now. Tasha finna go spray this whole place up.
She gonna remember that too, probably.
Like if I
But
was a
if
neighbor,
anybody's head should be on the swivel, it's Monet.
if I was a neighbor, I'm gonna want the Tejadas out of my neighborhood. Too much happened over here at this house. I want the Tejadas out of my neighborhood.
Okay, that's just
I
like
do not
on
want to live
Raising
there.
Canaan. Right.
Yeah.
That's just like with Raising Canaan. When
Yep.
y'all gonna put them people out your house?
Yeah.
He sprayed up Rock House, and still everybody still there.
Q1 said she agreed with you. Really, be Monet was lying.
She
Well,
was.
it was what Diana needed to hear. Diana needed to hear that she needed a mother's love, and she got her love from her mom.
She ain't needed that. And that was both of them was playing each other.
Whatever.
Tasha pulled
You
up.
killed my
Tasha
dad. We ain't
pulled
got
up
no words.
and sprayed up the place. Now, what I'm wondering in this moment, does
Let me go on mute.
they recognize it was Tasha? Because Tasha didn't have no mask or nothing on.
I thought about that, but at the same time, I don't think so because of how quick. I think Monet probably just saw that Uzi and that was it. Because of how quick she reacted. Like, I think if she had known it was Tasha, she probably would have been like, she probably would have said like, oh, like she would have, it would have been some type of whatchamacallit that made it known, like she know who the shooter was. She didn't know. See, all she saw was the gun. That's all she saw. And she just went into action. But maybe we'll find out on season 4 that she know it was her that shot her.
Yo, Tasha was savage in this moment. I have to give Tasha her moment. Tasha was savage. She sprayed up the place.
Oh, matter of fact, see, I don't even think they saw. I think she just started shooting.
She did sacrifice herself to save Diana, like Kane did, like Lorenzo did for Kane. So that's why I felt like her dialogue was sincere to Diana, because she did sacrifice herself to save her.
I mean, she
She
said that
shielded
before
her.
they was about to fight.
She shielded her from danger, and Tasha just
Did she shield her from danger, or was Diana just in the way on Monet's way down?
taking cover.
I'm just
I
wondering.
think she.
I
I
think
think
it
she
was a
shielded
natural
her.
instinct.
I think she shielded her because remember, it wasn't even supposed to be Tasha that was supposed to come and take Monet out.
Yeah, but Monet didn't know that.
I mean, yeah, but I think that's, I just think she just whatchamacallit. I think it was supposed to go totally different, and because remember they talked about it at the hospital. Her and Drew was like it ain't go the way it was supposed to go.
Mm.
Because
Yeah,
remember they were supposed to
that's a
set
good
Tariq
point
up.
too, Xavier. That Monet probably believes nobody can hurt my child but me. Yep. So Tasha speeds off into the sunset. Tariq's like,
Committing crimes
Mom.
in Witsec.
And I'm thinking to myself, Tariq, if you recognize it was your mom, why you just didn't follow her? Like you just let her drive off. You just let her drive off and you just sit there in shock. Like Tariq was shocked himself, like, damn, my mom did that. Like, yo, boy, is a savage.
Here's what I hated also about the scene was it was like I didn't understand why he didn't wait. I would have sat and waited before I left when Kane came out busting.
He did.
But Kane started
I just
busting at
wanted to
him.
No, he
wipe
started
that
busting at Tasha.
mustache off Tariq's face. Just
Yeah,
wipe
well,
it.
you're right.
He
You're
started
right.
busting at Tasha because Diana was supposed to hit Tariq's car, and Kane was going to come out and finish Tariq off.
That's
So
right.
that kind of implies that Kane was part of it, but he wasn't.
I
Like,
don't
I
think
don't
it
even
was.
understand what the purpose of Kane being there at the house for.
I think it was. Remember, like I said, that's how it was supposed to go. The way her and Drew set it up was it was for them to take out Monet and Tariq, put it all on Tariq, and then both of them go scot free.
Yeah,
I'm just tired of seeing that old Porsche truck.
yep. This is the first time we don't see it all season. Kane, like, what's going on? Like, what don't happen? Like, here's my question to you all. What do you think is going to happen when Kane finds out that his brother and sister orchestrated all this?
He gonna try to kill him.
You think Kane can kill his siblings?
Yeah.
I think King can kill anybody.
Yeah, I think that's one of the reasons why he struggles with Monet is that he hates her, but he loves her.
Yeah, yeah.
Remember, he was threatening Lorenzo, so I don't put it past him.
I mean, he
Was
don't
it?
have her hate, and he ain't got F his love. He really don't have nothing.
And now they're at the hospital. The nurse or the doctor tells them that Monet is in critical condition,
Look at
and
Drew.
they're
He's
working on her. And Drew is so mad. Boy, Drew's so
Look how
mad.
he's standing there. He's just a. He upsets me so much.
Putting that
He's an
ass in.
emotional liability. I've said it
Yeah.
before. I'll say it again.
I wish he would have been sitting in the back seat of the truck and got a bullet too.
He hates her. He hates her.
Yeah.
His hate is more palpable than Diana. Kane doesn't care. Okay.
And the
He hates
sad
her.
part about it is he hates her more so for the whole Gordo situation than he do for her unaliving his father. Like, you mad at your own mom over some.
But Diana feels some remorse because she bought the whole Porsche lie, the lie in the Porsche. Drew wasn't party of it, privy to any of that conversation. So
Not only that, but the acting itself of her shielding her, and even the conversation that they had prior to the bullets. Diana does feel remorseful, and at this moment, I
tells
thought
her
he was
we
getting
have
ready.
to stick to the Tariq story. We have to stick to the Tariq story. Almost like he's afraid. I don't know if he's afraid that Monet will survive this, or is he afraid of Kane?
Both.
That's why.
Both.
That's why I think she's not remorseful.
No, she's remorseful because it almost seemed like she wanted to tell Kane the truth here. It's almost like she wanted to come clean and tell Kane what was going on. Drew kept giving her that look like, you better shut up. Don't say nothing.
Because remember, she told Drew, she was like, the hit got fucked up. Like, if she was, I don't believe she was remorseful. I think she was just like, that wasn't how it's supposed to gone down. And she was about to be unalive herself. I don't see it.
I must say, I think she was remorseful.
I'm going to watch it again after this.
Look at tiny hands.
This will probably be my 4th time watching it.
You in them gloves and them hands. I remember you in your reviews talking about his gloves being too small when he smothered Evelyn. He's so stupid.
His hands are so tiny.
Oh, little Drew with his little nappy head. He gets on my nerve.
Thank you, Kiwan. I don't think she was remorseful at all either.
I think she was. Her mama just got sprayed up in front of her and she shielded her from danger. Because she even said it. She was like, Mom tried to protect me. Mom tried to protect me.
It's all an act.
And then when he was like, who did it, Diana? She was like, Tariq. And he's like, I'm going to get him. I'm going to get him right now. And Drew's like, yeah, go get him.
If she was remorseful, she wouldn't have been there at the end. She'd have still been at the hospital.
Then they start having flashbacks of what happened 4 days ago when they had the big argument at the house, and Monet mushes Drew in the face, and they run out the door, and that's when we seen Diana put the plan. Well, Drew. Actually, this is Drew's plan. He just used Diana as a puppet, but this is really Drew's plan, where Drew decides that they're going to use Tariq to set up Monet, and they can eliminate each other. Now, she wasn't with the whole idea of pinning it on Tariq, and Drew was like, well, we got to do what we got to do. Like, he's collateral damage at this point, So, Drew is really the one that's responsible for all of this. And another bad plan executed by Drew. Another bad plan executed by Drew. And like it's crazy to me that this character, they were right that this character would be the one to set Tariq up, when Tariq and Drew have never had any problems. They've never had any beef. Like, Drew is kind of been always the one to defend Tariq. And the idea of them having Drew flip on Tariq, I didn't understand that.
Because remember, Diana was the one who put it in his head that it was Tariq that knew.
That's what I was going to say. I think Diana is the mastermind behind this.
Exactly. Remember, she put it in his head that, like, Tariq was the one who told Monet that Lorenzo unalived, I can't even think his name now.
Lorenzo.
No, Lorenzo unalived her son, Zeke. She put it in his head because remember when she kept saying he went to Tariq, and she never corrected him at all. So she put it in his head. I would really be Diana masterminding all of this because she wants to get up out under whatchamacallit. She's done with it. She wants to go away.
Okay, so this right here clears up the discussion. It was not a letter to Kate. It was Monet's letter that she had gotten from Sachs that Diana takes over and gives to Kate.
How Diana know who Kate is and where to find her?
Now that I have an issue with.
I've been trying to wrap my brain around this for I have no clue. I've been trying to figure that out. I don't know how they're gonna write to put in how she figured that out with that horrible wig on the top of her head.
It was horrible. It came from Party City. It was a collaborative moment. I agree, Xavier. It was a collaborative moment between Drew and his sister. That wig did come from Party City. It looked like a Halloween wig. It was a Halloween wig. That wig was terrible. That wig was horrible, yo. And Kate took the bait.
Oh man!
But it's unrealistic that Kate would not have opened this letter and read it. Like,
I mean, she had been being served. It just doesn't make any sense. She's supposed to be like, I don't know who you here for. He don't live here. Woo, woo, woo. Like she said, She raised his daddy, who was a drug kingpin. Her son's in the life. Her husband was a made man. Silly.
But Xavier makes a good point. Diana and them investigative skills. So she probably looked up in the internet where
Mm-hmm.
Kate live.
Still, how was she
But,
even?
but I'm
Like,
saying,
it's got to be.
how even make the combination? How do you even connect? Like, if up until this point, like, how does Diana know anything about Tommy Eaglin to even
Exactly.
like anything?
Because going back to the end of season 1, we talked about this last week. Go back to the end of season 1 when Monet put a strap on Tommy at the grave. Drew and Diana was in the car. So they know Tommy, but they don't know enough about Tommy to know the history that Tommy was looking for Tasha and all that. So I'm not quite sure.
But
Unless
that's
it's
what I'm
public
saying.
knowledge.
Like,
Unless
that's
it's
all they
public
know.
knowledge. But keep in mind, it is public knowledge because Tasha did give up Tommy in open court that he was the one that unalived Ghost at her trial. So maybe that's how they know.
I don't know. I need more backstory on that.
Yeah, that was part of the accelerated pace because they didn't make it clear on how Diana knew who Kate was, and then they also didn't make it clear how Kate communicated that information to Tommy all the way in Chicago. Because remember, Kate tried to act like when Tariq came and saw her that she didn't know what the letter had said, but obviously she had to open the letter and read it to Tommy because Tommy's in Chicago. So that means she would have had to open the letter, read it, call Tommy, and tell Tommy what the contents of the letter said. It ain't like Tommy's there in New York and she could have just passed it on over to him. So she would have had to read the letter and communicate to him what was in it. Go ahead, Miss Honey.
Okay, just using you guys what you said. All the letter says is that Tariq worked for the feds.
We didn't get the entirety of the letter. Remember, Monet stopped reading it. She threw it to the side like, I don't believe this shit. And Diana picked the letter up from there. But they didn't read out loud what the rest of the letter said. Because remember, me, you, and King Retro were going back and forth about that when we watched the leak. We were trying to figure out what all did Monet's letter say because they didn't read it in its entirety.
I don't know why you think there's more, though. Why do you think there's more information?
Because
what more information could there have been?
The address to where Tasha was. That was in the letter, but it wasn't read out loud. So that tells you
Monet knows where Tariq, after she reads that he's a Fed, that he's working with the Feds. Also, it contains his mom's WITSEC address.
Correct.
And she just folds it up and puts it in the drawer and tells Diana to go and check and make sure Tariq. Come on, this is Monet Tejada. Come on.
That's why I have an issue with the fact that Monet didn't question Tariq about any of this.
I don't think that it said the address. I think it just said he was the Fed.
No,
all of this here is bullcocky. It's smoke and it's blown sweetly up our butts.
Remember when Tariq said to Kate when he first went and saw her that letter had my mom's address?
He's assuming that
all of the letters sent had Tasha's address in it. The one that 2-Bit had Tasha's address in it. And we never got one sentence off of 2-Bit's letter. We never knew what 2-Bit's letter said at all, but we knew that it culminated in including Tasha's address. Just like this letter right here had Tasha's address in it. All the letters had Tasha's address in it because all of them knew how to find her. Because when Tariq read 2-Bit's letter, that's how he knew how to get to Tasha because of the address that was in the letter. They just didn't read that part out loud.
Yep, sure did.
They just didn't read that part out loud.
Because he went straight to the WITSEC house.
So after they have their little flashback moment or whatever, Drew decides that he's going to continue this facade and that Diana, you need to fall in line and we're just going to pin it on Tariq and whatever happens, happens. We're going to let Kane take care of it. Do you hear me? And she was like, that's how he's looking at her. He's looking at her like, do you hear me? Yeah, Drew, yeah, okay. Yeah, Tommy said Monet gave him the address.
Yeah, but remember, Kate was thinking that whatchamacallit was Monet because she acted as Monet.
I think all of these were fail safes. Sachs, because me and Really B was talking about this yesterday. Sachs sent everyone pretty much the same letter. Now the contents varied from person to person. Obviously, Jenny's contents of her letter was totally different, but he was banking on one out of the three people that he sent that letter to would eliminate Tariq. So whoever gets to Tasha first and take care of her, mission accomplished. So I think he was had several different contingencies in place, all of them resulting in revealing Tasha's location and hoping that someone would go over there and take care of her. Okay.
Oh,
No comment.
I thought the joint got frozen. That's my fault. I thought the joint got
sitting
frozen. I was
on
like,
her park bench with her bad wig on. Tasha got a bad wig on too. Y'all talking about Diana wig. Tasha wig.
Tasha
Like
ain't as
listening
bad as
hedges.
Tasha's not as
Tasha
bad.
wig ain't much better either. She's sitting there looking all mean. Again, I really wish they do something with Tasha's character. Like, and it's unclear how she made contact with Tariq, but she's sitting here having a conversation with Tariq, telling Tariq that he should not have went after Monet, and that that was her mark, that it was her job as his mother to protect her. And I'm like, Tasha, do you know what your child been doing? Do you know what all your child's been out here doing? Like, Tariq is perfectly capable of taking care of Monet. Trust me. Tariq reveals to her that the trust fund is washed. They have no money. And Tasha's like, oh my God, what are we going to do? This is what we were supposed to live off of. And so at that point, Tasha, I feel like, gives him bad advice. I feel like Tasha gave him bad advice in this moment, where she tells him to go approach Noma and ask Noma, can he work with her and be a part of her organization or whatever the case may be. She sent him into the lion's den, while she went back to Witset to make biscuits and apple pie for Estelle and Yasmin. I feel like this is the last time you're going to get a hug from your mama, Tariq. This is the last time you're going to get a hug from your mama. Because once they find out that Tasha was the one that shot up Monet, they're going to take Tasha out.
I don't know if they even know it was her. Shoot, for real. Who knows? She might get put back in Witset.
It's going to come out. These are the scenes in which you have to read between the lines. It's assumed that there was other info that was in the letter. When Kate said it was Monet that brought the letter, Tommy believed it.
Well, yeah, we pretty much said that. It was, whatchamacallit, acting like Monet. I want to know what's on this damn hard drive.
Yeah.
I think there's a combination of things on his hard drive, but the better question becomes, why didn't Sachs just send the letter directly to Junior at the precinct? Just like Jenny's letter was waiting for her on her desk in her office. The fact that he used Paz to be the messenger, it makes me feel like whatever's on that flash drive has something to do with Angela. But all of the subjects of the letters previously have been Tariq. So it's kind of like maybe there's some information on there about Tariq confessing to unaliving his father, but then maybe it's some of Angela's casework. I feel like it has something to do with Angela, because we didn't need Paz. We did not need Paz. We already knew that he was Paz's son, or alleged son, because I still feel like that's Angela's son. But that's neither here nor there. But the fact that they used Paz to be the messenger to give the note to Junior, it makes me feel like something on that flash drive has something to do with Angela.
I would agree. I'm thinking it's got to deal. It might be or it might have to. If it ain't something to do with Angela and Tommy, then it's definitely got something to do with Tariq. Like you said, it might be the recording of him at the graveyard. I don't know what it is. I can't figure it out to save my life, because we're not going to get it until next season. So
that's what I was thinking too, Drew. I was thinking that they knew that already about Tariq. Well, Sax did anyway. I don't know if the Rico team knew about that already.
No, I don't
But,
think the Rico team. I think it was only Sax. Because
yeah,
remember, Sax was working.
Sax knew that. Yeah.
Yeah. Because I don't even think Sax was working with any of them during that time that happened. I don't even think he was working with Davis yet, right? When
He was still working for the DA's office. Remember,
Yeah.
he was still working for the DA's office because I think that's the episode he got fired. And that's when Davis approached him and asked him to come work for him. And that's when he told Davis about what Tariq had done. But is it just me, or did anyone else get the feeling that when Paz came in and she was trying to give him his accolades about, oh, your aunt would be so proud of you, you following in her footsteps, it almost seemed like Junior didn't want to talk about that. It almost seemed like he was kind of like trying to hush up Paz, like he didn't want nobody to know or overhear what she was saying. It was kind of weird, his reaction.
I think it may be
Yeah, it
because
was
none of
weird.
them
It was
know.
odd. It was
When she
awkward.
brought up Angela's name, he reacted very weird.
Maybe because they don't know that that's her nephew.
That's what I
Trying
was
to keep
saying.
the secret. Maybe I'm thinking maybe he because it's his last name. His last name is Valdez, right? Or no?
Remember we talked about that. I talked about that in my junior video as well about him not going by the Valdez last name.
Yeah. So
remember you said that you think he probably going by his father's last name.
Yeah,
I don't
his
know.
father's
His
last name.
reaction to Paz when she mentioned Angela seemed a little off-putting.
yeah, I'm thinking that's what it is. He don't want them to know.
Drew is saying they brought it up in court. I got to go back and watch. Was that season 2, Drew? Was that season 2 where they were trying to get Tasha, or was it when Tariq was on trial? Drew says they brought it up in court.
The confession?
I got to go back and watch it. I'm not going to argue that he's right or wrong because I don't necessarily.
Xavier said season 1. I don't remember them bringing up
Season 1, Tasha was on trial. Season 2, Tariq was on trial for Jabari and Ramirez's murder. I don't know if it came up or came out.
I don't remember. I don't remember.
I don't remember either, so I can't say Drew's right or wrong. I'm just gonna go back and check that out.
He said, yeah, after Tariq beat Jabari body. I don't remember them bringing that up in court. Because how would Jenny know? I don't even.
No. It wasn't season 2, Drew. I think I kind of vaguely remember. It was season 1 because remember Tariq said something about Sax's niece that was at the grave that was had got him drunk that night. Remember he said in court that niece got him drunk and Sax was able to record.
Oh, yeah. That's right. Okay.
It was season 1. It was the trial, Tasha's trial, I think.
Yep. Okay. I remember now.
But yeah, his behavior seemed a little odd here. So I'm wondering if he doesn't want people to know that he's related to Angela Valdez.
That's what I think. I think he don't want folks to know that he's related to her.
Yeah, because he was even shocked about his mama being there. Like, Mom, what you doing here?
Yep. Because matter of fact, yeah, that makes more sense because now everybody might realize that, like, oh, hey, that's Angela's sister.
Yep. I feel like this would have been a great opportunity for Obi-Wan Tariq as well, but he didn't. He had to call his white savior, as Miss Honey would love to say. He had to call the white savior to come save Tariq. But I felt like this was a great opportunity for Obi to tell Tariq that, hey, you know they're getting ready to take you out. You might want to turn around and leave. Oh, poor Tariq.
They might have been watching him, so he couldn't even tell him.
Yep. So they got his strap, and this dude right here, I don't know who I was talking to about this yesterday. Like, we never seen this dude before a day in our life.
We were talking about it on Friday.
Yeah.
Never
seen this dude a day before in our life.
I was thinking that maybe he was one of the dudes. Remember when they was in Italy, and she showed up with those snipers and stuff up on? I was like, maybe he was one of them, and we never paid attention.
Xavier, you don't think that the Rico sisters have reason to follow Tariq anymore? I think so. Because, which I'm mad about, they did not address Blanca's still picture that she has of Tariq at the penthouse the night Mecca got unalive. That never came up the entire season. During the whole Rico investigation, it was never once mentioned. But that's how Blanca got on the case. That's how Blanca got on the case.
That's
But
how they ended last season. They ended last season that way.
Never mentioned it again.
Maybe
How?
I don't know.
Where's Obi's sidekick? Where's the other the Nigerian?
We ain't seen none of them since the first episode.
Sure
we
have
ain't
it.
seen Nigerian since the first episode where they cut that lady hand off. We ain't seen them since. It's just Obi. Because even the goons that snatched up Tariq on the subway were Nigerian.
Yep.
We ain't seen them since. Not supposed to remember them, Miss Honey.
Yeah, they just goons. They're
just goons. That's all.
Yeah, they just goons. They rotate their goon.
1-800-GOON.
Yeah, so you can't see who's coming at you. They gotta keep them rotated.
What y'all think about Tariq in this scene right here? Poor little fella, he shot his shot. He shot his last shot that he had.
It kills me how he can just look 30 or 15 or 19
or 12.
20. Yeah.
If DeMarcus is still in the room, I'm interested in seeing, do you feel sorry for Tariq or no? I feel like Tariq is getting his just dessert. I don't feel sorry for him. I'm sorry, I don't. Because he's getting what's called retribution.
But at the same time, I'm like, yo.
Now, I do feel bad about his whole little crew flipping on him, but,
that's what I'm saying. Because
you ain't got no friends in these streets.
I mean, that's true, but it's at the same time, it's like, yo, y'all really about to bite the hand that fed y'all? Because
that's true.
He done fed all of them. Like, now, granted, Tejadas was already out in the streets, etc. You know what I'm saying? But he done took y'all. He brought y'all up another notch.
He did bring the Tejadas up, and he saved them. He saved them from their own selves. He saved them from a RICO investigation. He has aided Monet in all her schemes and scams.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
remember, she said
by her own word, she was the only one he could trust, and now they all just flipped on him.
And she said, "You're the one. You're the brains. I need you to think."
Yeah, he saved all their ass. Yep.
And this is how y'all repay him.
Yep.
Yeah. I ain't like this part. I was like, man.
And even saved Effie. But I understand why Effie flipped on him, because she did give him a chance for them to reconcile.
That's right.
When he turned her down, how could you expect her to remain loyal to you when you turn her down? Like, she was trying to wipe the slate clean with you. And
that's a woman scorn. She's still thinking.
Yeah, she's a woman scorn.
Not with her brain. Like, yo, like you said, we're in the streets. At that point, he told you straight up, like, yo, I can't trust you. Like, at that point, when he got you out of jail, it should have been easy. Like, you know what? You don't trust me. I appreciate you getting me out of jail. This is what it's gonna be. But the fact that you was literally like about to watch Kane, like, because I guarantee you, like, let's just say for shits and giggles, Kane literally shot Tariq. She would have been heartbroken. She playing it cool, but she would have been heartbroken that, like, yo, Kane really took him out.
I don't think so, because she started busting at him too.
Well, that's at that point, because they shooting at her, so of course she gonna shoot back. But beforehand, nah. Like, because remember, she was about to ask Davis about Tariq when they was in the interrogation room when he came to see her. So I think.
All right, Pat. Let's go ahead and have this great debate.
She doesn't owe him anything. She doesn't owe him anything. She doesn't owe him any loyalty. He long before she slept with Kane, he messed with Diana. Then rubbed it in her face. What's up, Effie? Right? She doesn't owe him anything.
I agree with that.
She does. She snitched on this man before.
But they had already wiped the slate clean by that. They on a new slate.
He gave her fresh ding-a-ling.
Yeah.
Okay.
And on top of that, y'all were running the streets together. Y'all were running the streets together.
She don't owe him nothing. She don't owe him nothing. He couldn't even push the work he pushed if it wasn't for Effie. She don't owe him nothing. She's more than me.
Remember, she created the apps. She got course correct back up and going. Like, I feel like Effie pulled her weight. Now I'm gonna have to agree with that.
She don't owe him nothing.
She pulled her weight.
And every opportunity she gives him, to see her differently, to view her differently, to see her worth, he poo-poos it. She owes him nothing.
Okay, here's the big question. Did Kane get hit? Did Braden take Kane out? If
I think it could be anybody. I don't think Kane is dead.
I don't think
I
so
don't think
either.
he did. I don't think he on alive. I think he got hit though. I think he got hit in the hand
Uh,
or in the arm.
Yeah, he got hit in the hand. He got hit in
we
the
don't
hand.
know who got hit or who got killed, and this means that they can do whatever they want with any of these characters because of this scene. So if they hadn't
Yeah.
decided whether who they're going to keep, this is the scene where they could get rid of them. So it could really it could be
If they
Kane.
do, if they do that,
Injured, it could be
I'll be
anybody.
so upset. I'll be
I
so
mean,
upset.
Drew's
That is
Drew's
not the
already
way to
got like
take him.
4 boo-boos, so can't be
That
Drew.
is not the way to take Kane out. I think Braden shot the gun out of his hand, but I don't think that Kane caught a bullet.
I think
I didn't see what y'all saw. It just all was dark to me.
Go ahead, drop it on the retro.
I'm about to drop it. Is the next scene? I think. I'm gonna go ahead and drop it on him. You know I had it too.
Go ahead, drop the bomb.
Y'all do not know how hard it was to get this screenshot. Y'all have no idea how hard it was to get this screenshot, but I got it. All right, lights go dark, Miss Honey, and brain starts busting. Bam! There you go. There you go. The gun got shot in Kane's head.
That's why I was telling folks. That's why I think he got hit in the hand and not in the gun, because when he starts shooting back in the
other hand,
his left hand.
Yeah.
If it was just a gun, he would have started shooting. He would have kept shooting with his right. He switches to his left when he starts shooting back.
Okay, Xavier agrees with us. He thinks the same thing. But yeah, if they
Braden was aiming for him.
Yeah. If they decide to take Kane out like this, conversation.
He began bullied by him, so he probably was.
Right. But the rumor in the streets, and these power streets says that Kane is also interested in moving on. That he doesn't want to be typecast, and because he's at the age of 33, he feels like he's ready to move on to other roles, whatever. Which it kind of almost you can almost tell throughout the show that Kane's probably the older out of the group, and that he's probably ready to move on to other stuff. But I tell you what, I would hate to lose Kane.
I mean, Tariq said this real. Tariq said he's ready to move on. He's tired of being. So.
Yeah, I would hate to lose Kane. I would rather see Drew go first than Kane. But if the man ready to move on, I mean, I can't be mad at him about that. I mean, they don't have 4 seasons, so hopefully he comes back for season 4. Maybe that's his last season, and maybe season 4 is the last season that we get book 2.
Probably, I got a feeling it is. That's just me.
Yeah,
because like I said, once you got the star saying he's tired of being typecasted as, Tariq, then I'm like, yeah, it's coming to an end.
Yeah, I mean, he's played the role half of his adult life, so I mean, he's been on the show for about 13 years, so it's time for him to move on and do some other stuff. But I'm wondering if we'll get another spinoff if Tariq decides to leave, if we get another spinoff, or does this kill book 2 altogether?
Kill it. You don't need no more spinoffs.
I don't know. I kind of want to see some other spinoffs.
I mean, who you going? What? It's going to be an Effie spinoff, a Braden spinoff? Like, I don't know who you going to spin it off for.
If we could have gotten influence, we could have gotten the Weston family in influence. They would have been essential characters for influence. I don't know. I argue with a couple of people, not argue, but I've discussed with a couple of other people that I feel like the show could go on without Tariq, but they'll have to bring in, some other type of Tariq type character. And I feel like they're setting Diana up to be the next Tariq. I feel like they're setting Diana up to do the same thing that Tariq did at the end of Power. Get rid of Monet, and she takes over the organization, and then we have the life and times of Diana. Or Diana decides to go on to Georgia and Spelman, and she starts off maybe trying to be legit and end up having to sell work to pay for school. I can see a Diana and Effie spinoff.
As a children's lullaby story, because that puts me to sleep.
That's what I said. I hope not.
She's She's one of the least interesting characters. You know what I
She is.
mean?
She is. I'm not saying that I will
Like
watch it.
all that shooting, was Diana shooting too?
No,
No.
Diana was hiding.
Yeah.
Diana was hiding.
Yeah.
Well, overall, I was very pleased with this season. I think we had a very great season. This is the best season of book two that we've had thus far to date. I think season four is only going to go up from here. I think that we are coming to our conclusion because at this point, there's not much left in the story. Now that we see that everyone is turning on Tariq, you know, I can't see another 2 or 3 seasons of this. Like, it's kind of reminding me of how season 6 was at Power. We knew that was the end of Power. We just didn't know that Ghost was going to be the one to end up being unalive. But we saw it was the end of the road. So I feel like what we're seeing right here is the beginning of the end of the road for book 2. Like, I don't see how the story can go much further. Like Miss Honey said, it would have been dope to see Tariq graduate. And maybe they fast forward the story and recast Tariq as an older Tariq. And they find someone else to play the role of Tariq. And in order for them to do that, they would have to recast Tariq and Brayton and give us the adult version of Tariq and Brayton. But it'll be interesting to see how book 2 shapes up for season 4. Because I think season 4 is the end of it. So Rick's going to end up getting his revenge on the Tejadas. He's going to take them out one by one. He's going to pick them off one by one. I think the show will end with him getting his trust back and he rides off into the sunset with Tasha now. Or he ends up getting unalive, or he ends up going to jail. One of those 3 scenarios is going to be the end of his story.
I agree with that. I agree with that 100%.
All right, guys. Well, this is the end of season 3. Book 2. It was a very good season, guys, and we appreciate you all coming and hanging out with us every Sunday, checking out our review. We are going to probably start next week on our retro reviews. We are going back to season 1 of Power. We will start our retro reviews next week. We're probably going to do some character breakdowns. We're probably going to talk about some new characters that are going to be introduced to season 4. We're probably going to do, Miss Honey wants to do a show about the villains, the Connect. So we got more Power content coming at you guys. So stay tuned for it. We'll be around. Any final thoughts, guys, before we wrap up?
I just want to know more information on Raising Canaan. That's it.
I just want to know why we got to wait till September the 1st for Force. It's not right. It's not right.
I want to know if Monet's going to wake up first episode of season 4, or if they're going to give us a little Mary J. Blige break.
Yeah, I think they're going to give us a break. She may have booked some other stuff too. I think we get Monet maybe episode 4, season 4. I think they'll talk about her and they may even show her in the hospital room or whatever. I don't think she wakes up first episode. That's too predictable.
Nah,
we'll see.
Probably first and second, she'll still be in the hospital.
But then again, with this writing team, we got anything is possible. She may wake up. She may have a healing factor like Wolverine. She'll wake up fully healed and with an adamantium skeleton bonded to her or something. I don't know.
I'm glad the season's over. It was exciting, but I mean, like I said, at any moment there were going to be dragons and unicorns walking around the streets of New York. Like it was about to get super duper fantastical. So I'm glad for the season to be over, and I'm excited for the other franchises. And I really hope, that things are better in terms of the writing. It just bugs me. It bugs me because we make our predictions and stuff off the things that we see. And we can't really trust that,
That's true. That is so true. All right, guys, y'all make sure y'all hit that like button on y'all way out. We want to keep the conversation going, so y'all make sure y'all drop y'all comments. Those of you who are on the replay, watch back, y'all go ahead and make y'all comments so we can go ahead and talk to you guys. Fresh, any last words for you, brother?
That's it. Like I said, I just want more information on Raising Canaan. That's it. That's what I'm waiting
Please. I can't wait to see Rock. I got a
So-
small crush on Rock.
Rock is everything. We like Rock. I can't wait to see what they're gonna do with her unique story going
Yeah.
forward. I think that's gonna be real good for season 3. It's gonna be real good for season
Y'all
3.
just hoping to get a Breeze sighting. That's all.
We already got confirmation that we're getting Breeze, so you know
Mhm.
I can patiently await.
Hopefully, you guys can get an autograph and a picture.
Autograph of Breeze. I can't with you. All right, fam. We appreciate y'all checking us out. We will see you guys next week.